real, certified, real, recognized, real, and it only gets realer from here. And in today's topic, I'm gonna be discussing the zodiac signs that trigger Pisces the most. As you know, it's a lot of signs that tend to irk us, get on our nerves more than Steve Urkel and his suspenders. But when it comes to a Pisces, I'm gonna break it down to reasons why. With these particular signs, why a Pisces can possibly lose it. Yes, because it's certain signs that's going to challenge you when you try to stay quiet. As often as a Pisces does, unfortunately, there's some particular signs that could trigger you in such a way that can really bring you out of your character. See, it is not just about emotions. Don't forget to smash that like button as well. As you guys know, Pisces in general are calm, empathetic, intuitive until certain zodiac signs push the wrong damn button. This is also a wake-up call because when it comes to these particular buttons, yes, they are emotional. See? So I'm gonna break it down for y'all. What's going on, Ronnie Boo? What's going on? Welcome. Grand evening. Facts. Real. The topic. Yeah. We talking about the zodiac signs that trigger Pisces the most. Now, I'm gonna break this down for y'all. So there are some extreme problems that arise, especially when we talk about jealousy. And I'm gonna tell you guys how Pisces can protect their energy from it without snapping, going off into the wrong direction, or giving that person emotional control over you, which you will probably be more than likely tied to if you react. Basically if you react out of character. Now, if you're a Pisces, this will hit home with you because you will definitely understand this a little bit better as far as like why do certain zodiac signs piss you off, trigger you, and it's like automatically. Now, we're going to talk about the fire signs, okay? Now, when it comes to the fire signs, let's ask ourselves, why is this particular modality intense for Pisces? Is because Aries, okay, let's start with them. Aries is too blunt and likes to move too fast. See? And as us Pisces, we like to take our time. We like to, move slower, talk slower. And if an Aries is moving too fast, it's usually motives. We start to see those motives. We start to feel as though they're up to something. Let me see. Box, I hope I'm saying your name right. Box Elder, hope I'm saying your name right. Says Scorpio, Libra, Aries come to mind. Yep, you close. Sagittarius is intense to Pisces because excuse me, you guys. I just got off work, but anyway, Sagittarius is dismissive of emotions. See, so it's almost like F how you feel, Pisces, in the moment. Even if you just going through something, you could be hurting, experiencing extreme pain, and a Sagittarius won't give a damn. See, now the next one is Leo. Okay, as you guys know, Leos are very proud, and along with that comes the ego. The ego clashes with Pisces sensitivity. So you could say that the ego of anyone in particular, but we're talking about Leo. The ego definitely is not safe with Pisces because the intuition. So when we talk about Pisces sensitivity, that's what we're referring to, the intuition. See, the intuition, it destroys egos. Because listen, the only way a person's ego is effective is if you're unaware of it. Like basically, if you don't know that it's there, you could be fooled into thinking this person is confident. Oh, this person is confident. Woo, or hey, they could say something in such a way that could intimidate you. But if you don't know that that's their ego stepping in, then it's almost like, oh, that's just their ego. Because sometimes the ego steps in when what? A person loses control. See, when they lose control, where they may have really, really, wanted it, but didn't get it, and hey, now they want to reinforce it, the ego steps in. But Pisces automatically dissolves it. Now, why would these fire signs that I mentioned trigger Pisces the most? Is because a Pisces will definitely notice that they're not emotionally safe around these fire signs. See, remember I said Sagittarius doesn't give a damn. So they're going to be very dismissive of how you feel. That could be a mood that you just not in the mood today. A Sagittarius will still find a need to be loud, be too playful, too goofy, too silly in the moments where you probably don't feel like being bothered, or hey, you probably just ain't in that type of mood. So you gotta understand that Sagittarius likes to oppose, likes to go against the rules or go against something that, boundaries. So if you say, hey, I'm not in the mood, a Sagittarius takes that as a challenge. See, he's almost like, oh, you ain't in the mood, so you're trying to stop me from, stop my freedom and stop me from doing what I want to do. No, then it's like they'll go against it. See, let me see. Welcome everybody who just came in. How y'all day going? The next thing is air signs. Now, air signs, let's talk about Gemini, okay? How does a Gemini trigger a Pisces? Well, it's through the mixed signals. See, remember I said, think of a driver that has hit a left signal, but only to go right. How would that throw you off? Because you'd be expecting that person in front of you or behind you to go left, but they'll go right. And when you think that, oh, they're going to go right, they're going to go left. So what do we call this? Mind games, word games. It's different signals, and these different signals are not always present, see, because it's constantly changing. Now, when we talk about Libra uses avoidance. That alone, put it like this. Avoidance, anybody, no matter what their sign is, anybody that tries to avoid responsibility, accountability, a Pisces is going to be triggered by it, because they're going to say, no, you can't escape. You have to face whatever it is that you're running from. You can't get off the hook. So when it comes to Libra, definitely this type of person, like I said, where there's conflict, can be quiet as a mouse, won't say anything. They can become just totally avoidant of you trying to figure it out or trying to bring a solution or trying to, heal the situation. Also, too, another thing about Libra that's going to piss off a Pisces is people pleasing. See, because Pisces feels like, look, and it's so crazy because, Aquarius is right there. It's almost like a next door neighbor. It's like, that's why one thing that Aquarius and Pisces see together and agree on is the authenticity of, you being yourself. There's nothing like you. It's nothing like you being yourself. It's nothing like that. So it's almost like a person will say, hey, I've never seen someone like you before, because you will stand out if you be yourself. See, so it's almost like when a person has to people please, that means that they have denied themselves. See, they don't like themselves, and they don't like to be honest with themselves or with other people. That's where the people pleasing comes in, because that person is doing everything in their power to what? Make you feel comfortable. See, but that does nothing, because you're not being honest. You're not showing your feelings. You're not being vulnerable in a sense. So that looks manipulative. See, now Aquarius, how they would trigger a Pisces is through emotional detachment. So if you were to go to a funeral or go to see somebody put a headstone at the cemetery, and you took an Aquarius along with you to go see your uncle, hey, your son, whoever it was, right? And then all of a sudden, Aquarius can't sit there and just let you have that one-to-one with, your lost one, loved one, or whoever it may be. A lot of times they can emotionally detach from you, so they might not necessarily feel comfortable feeling those emotions that you're currently feeling. See? And that's the thing, because they can run from that. They can run from those scary emotions that you're actually showing, because what is that coming from? That's coming from the real you. And they don't want to have no partake in those. They don't want to feel those type of emotions because they're afraid of their emotions. See, because they think that it's going to rob them of their individuality, okay, as a person. And that's one thing that you can't rely on for an Aquarius to do for you, Pisces, is to meet you at that emotional level. That, and we call that what? Connecting. So you can find people that don't want to connect. What is the opposite of connecting with another person? Addiction. See? So that's why when it comes to bonding, people that don't have a relationship with their emotions, they tend to have a relationship with cigarettes, dope, whatever it could be some type of situation where that's who they're bonding to. They don't want to bond with another emotional human being. See, they'll probably bond with their dog. Hey, bond with the beer that they get every Friday. It's just they're going to bond with somebody, something, or some type of substance and always remember, if a person is running from a connection, they are what? They are chasing an addiction. See that? Because you're going to bond with something. You either you're going to spend quality time with that blunt that you roll up you go get a blunt, couple zigzags, and some ganja, some ganja or whatnot. And hey, that's who you bond. That's what you're bonding to. And it could be a trauma related. It don't matter. But if you run from a human interaction and you just afraid to connect with someone emotionally because you don't want to open up, you don't want to be vulnerable, you're going to bond to some type of drug or some type of situation. See, now, when it comes to these air signs, why do they trigger Pisces? Because the intuition versus what? The reality conflict. See, so when you're dealing with these particular air signs, they don't want to face reality. See, and that's the whole acceptance of what is currently happening right now and being in the present moment. They don't want to do that. They want to be all over the place. They want to run from emotions, run from the human experience. See? So you got to be careful, because one thing about Aquarius, yes, they come up with bright ideas and whatnot, but they seldomly follow through on it because they're constantly coming up with different types of ideas. So they have to, the moral, or put it like this. Where they would want to be at is to pick something and stick to it and follow through on it. But a lot of times Aquarius changes their mind, and as soon as they start a good idea, and it could be very trending, then all of a sudden they change their mind and go with a different idea. See, only to never finish or accomplish anything. See, that's why you got to have one idea, follow through on it. Now, when it comes to earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn, these are the signs that trigger Pisces the most. I'm gonna tell you why. Virgo, everybody knows, is criticism. See, Virgo is that nosy neighbor that invented Neighborhood Watch, where it says, hey, we'll call the cops. That's Virgo. Because Virgo has to know Virgo has to know everything in order to analyze everything. See, because Virgo always wants what? Information. They always want the facts. See, and they want the facts raw because that works their juices where they can analyze. See, but here's the problem. You don't need to analyze every goddamn thing, Virgo. Some things are as they are, and they don't require for you to try to go in there and add to it and change it up like a mad scientist. That's why I said criticism. And what does that lead to? When you criticize someone or you judge someone, what are you trying to do? You're trying to control them. You cannot control them. So this is not reality. That is not creativity. See, where there's control, there's no creativity. Your free will and you having a choice, that allows you to be creative. See, you cannot create if there's control. And see, even with God, he gives us a free will. You have a choice to follow him or you don't. See, the choice is yours. So that tells you right there, it could be a beautiful situation if you choose him, but he ain't got no gun up to your head to choose him. It's up to you. So that's why I said Virgo likes to what? Criticize and control through pretending to help you. See, because the help is not something that you asked them for. It's their version of help for you. See, so that's why I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So if a Virgo walks around, storms around, trying to fix somebody that is already good, what does that mean? You're basically trying to destroy them. Virgos try to destroy the authenticity, the real version of you. See, because if they don't like it and it makes them feel uncomfortable, insecure, intimidated, oh, they're going to try to wear down. Oh, they're going to try to wear. They are the type of zodiac sign that's about structure. So they're going to try to dismantle you, knock you down, criticize you to freaking death to where, oh, you can't operate like that. You can't be yourself. And that's scary for a Virgo. That's scary as hell for them to actually meet somebody that's nonchalant, calm, because they're not like that. So they're definitely going to notice that you're different. But different to a Virgo means that, oh, you need fixing. That is cold-blooded. See? Because Virgo can really mess you up. That's why they say Virgo is considered the sadist of the zodiac. See, they get off on tormenting people that don't have backbone, that don't have a voice for themselves, don't stand their ground. See, because a Virgo can enjoy giving you pain, ruining your life, sleeping with your husband behind your back, doing different types of things, changing the narrative. And also, this is the type of person that can have multiple wives. Yes. And then you can really look at them and they will not have no type of, they would not be moved or feel unbothered by it or feel, bad about it. No. See? Now, another thing, Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn, how do they trigger a Pisces? Is through emotional coldness. See? And it's like with this emotional coldness, they do this because they do not want Pisces to what? Read them. See? Because if you can't feel them because they're ice cold emotionally, then you probably won't be able to read them. You won't be able to check their temperature if they're cold. They're too cold. It's almost like, oh, if something is in the freezer, it has to have a what? Go through the process of thawing out. You cannot cook nothing that's frozen. It has to thaw out. So with Capricorn, it's done intentional. See, it's manipulative behavior because they know the more they talk, they know the more that they share, it opens them up. And what? That vulnerability makes them talk more and give more information. They don't want you to know their plans. That's why they're so busy trying to be your boss when they are your friend. See, that's the difference. They don't want you to figure out them as a person. See, now it's so funny that everything that I mentioned, it ties with what? Superficiality, right? Something that is not real, something that doesn't want to be related to something that is real, meaning realistic. See, that's the difference of some zodiac signs. They like to bend reality. They try to manipulate reality. See, change its meaning. And see, that ain't gonna fly with a Pisces. No, it's not. See, now Let's go look at the water signs. Yes, there are water signs that trigger Pisces. We already, Scorpio's number one. Scorpio, and I'm going to tell you what triggers Pisces from a Scorpio is the intensity. See, the intensity is not required for everything. That's almost like a person putting a loud muffler that is unnecessary on a import vehicle that's already souped up, tuned up already. You're just doing too much. If you're yelling in a room where people are studying, you're doing too much. This is the thing where when you look at the Plutonian type of aspects with Scorpio, the reason why they're so intense is because they do not want to be vulnerable. See, the more noise that they make, they feel like, oh, that is going to unsettle you. See, that's going to scare you in such a way where it blinds you from what's actually going on. See, because they like to be in the dark. They do not want you to identify who they are, what they are, and that's why they make a lot of noise. See, now when it comes to that intensity, hold that thought. The next one is the silent power plays that they do. See, they test you to see how you will react. See, because they want to have what? Full possession over you. See, before they own you, they got to make sure they can control you. See, because as soon as they can piss you off emotionally, then what happens? You become their prisoner. See, but here's the thing. The weakness of a Scorpio is what? The inability to what? Let go. See, so if you let go of them, in spite of what they do to you, they can't handle it. Because why? They are chasing control. The problem is they don't know what control is. See, they don't know what it is, what it really means. And for you to take the power back by you saying, hey, I'm not doing something, or hey, and let's say that Scorpio loses access to you, they've lost. See, because they are feeding off what? Your energy. See, a lot of times they don't have their own energy. They want to take and they want to feed off your energy. See, now keep that thought. Cancer, how would they trigger a Pisces? Through emotional dependency, okay? The clinginess. The clinginess is, it feels like an energy vampire. Sucks the life out of you, drains the hell out of you. When someone won't go home, have you ever had a friend that just, hey, came over your house and never went home? Never went home. It's like, man, okay, people got to go to work, man. Hey, you've been over here for 5 days already. You don't live here, and this is not your stuff. Please go home and come back maybe in a week or two. You wearing your welcome out. But that's the thing with Cancer. They don't know how to balance that in itself to separate themselves, because they get emotionally clingy. See? So it's like if they like you, they want to be neck and neck with you with everything. And you got to be careful, because they can actually, now this is deep, they can actually want to join you in different things, like shower together, just little things that are personal, that's a little bit too, it's a privacy, maybe a boundary there. A Cancer, if they love you, and hey, they cannot see themselves without you. See, they become just super emotionally clingy. They want to join you with everything. It could be so bad to the point where you, as a woman, you might have a date, and that Cancer friend of yours, she wants to tag along even if there's no date for her. She automatically feels entitled that, oh, I gotta be there, because I can't let somebody come in your life and play you or do something to you, because you're my baby or whatever. They might use those little emotion type of reactions to your situation. Now with that clinginess, there's also insecurity because of losing you. A Cancer, that would be the worst nightmare for them, is, oh, if you become close to someone else, or hey, you might spend too much time with your boyfriend that you forget about me. That's one thing they cannot handle. They can't even handle the fact that, oh, you didn't answer your phone when they called or text you. They can really blow up on you just off of that little small petty situation that you might have been at work or you might have been on the toilet. But if you don't answer fast enough, they will start to emotionally bombard you with all types of guilt trips of, oh, you didn't answer, what you don't want to talk to me anymore, oh, it's like that. And you like, bro, or you might be like, girl, why is you tripping, fam? Like, it ain't nothing like that. But she can really take stuff to heart because she's very, very emotional and sensitive. And the moon, you don't know what's gonna come from that. It could be very, very unpredictable of how those mood swings are going to lead her and swing her to those moods. See, now the next one is Pisces. Okay, now believe it or not, yes, another Pisces can trigger you, Pisces. So, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you reflect, sometimes you can lose yourself. See, so if a Pisces detects that you're not present, see, if you saw a Pisces can feel you trying to merge and trying to connect, but you start to what? Leave yourself absent from the connection. Where, oh, you're trying so hard to make me feel comfortable, and you're trying to feel my emotions and trying to feel me on an emotional level based off what I tell you or how I empathize with you. Well, then it could become an irritation that, oh, you're not really being you. See, you're just going off of me and basically how I came at you, that you're leaving yourself and your energy out of the equation because you're reflecting. See, that's the thing. When a person is looking in the mirror, sometimes a Pisces can just keep that mirror on you to where you could feel though if you're talking to yourself while you talking to a Pisces, because a Pisces they might not give any feedback. They might not give their opinion. They might not give any type of communication to let you know that, oh, this is how they feel. But if they just say, oh, right, go along with what you're doing, oh, yeah, you have every right to feel like that. They say those type of things that could piss a Pisces off, because a Pisces will start to realize that, oh, you're just reflecting. You're just going off of my energy. You're not really telling me anything about you or giving your input. See, because a Pisces loves connecting with others. So if a Pisces feel like, oh, you ain't really connecting with me because you're not giving me your honest opinion, or you're just not giving no effort, a Pisces is going to get triggered by that. Now, another thing too that triggers a Pisces, if you are a Pisces, is the emotional overload. Two Pisces, that's the number one thing that can kill it, is if two Pisces are just having just say both you guys have a cup full cup of just situations from the job, and one Pisces can't handle another Pisces emotions because it's too much, it's overwhelming. So let's say if you're a Pisces woman and you have shit going on your job that's stressing you out, or hey, your boss did something funny, or hey, you saw something going on. As a Pisces listening to you, he's absorbing or she's absorbing every inkling of amount of anything that happened, whatever you're expressing, the Pisces is taking it in. Problem is that when the Pisces is trying to share their day and how their day went, it's almost like, I got enough on my plate. So you could get cut off mid-sentence, where a Pisces could have talked your ear off about how their day went, how such pissed them off, something went down that your intuition caught on. And then when the other Pisces try to tell you everything that happened in their day, it's like you could become not so much, I wouldn't say selfish or self-inclined to your own, wanting to hear your own stuff, but you just can't handle having somebody else. You could feel so much that when somebody started talking and telling you, oh, about their day, you would be like, man, look, man, I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear that shit, man, because I'm focused on what I'm doing. I got a lot on my plate. And that's how two Pisces can get the bumping heads, because what other Pisces will say, well, damn, that's not fair. I listen to you vent, but damn, when I get ready to vent, you talking about some, oh, I don't want to hear all that shit. I'm focused on what I got. I got my own damn shit, my own plate full. So that's the thing, like, when you dealing with another Pisces, you have to know that maybe you might have to save your story for Friday. You might have to save it because a Pisces can get overwhelmed just like that. So you got to be like, let them talk in order to make it work, I'm saying. So it's like you got to like break down, nickel and dime your information and your emotions. You got to nickel and dime because a Pisces can feel like they can feel it like you're trying to dump on them. So it's like once they feel like, oh, you trying to get emotional with them, sometimes a Pisces will simply tell you that, like, yo, I ain't gonna lie to you, and I ain't trying to hurt your feeling, but hey, I know you feeling emotional right now, but I am not trying to hear none of that right now. So that's the thing, like the truth from a Pisces mouth can really make you feel seen, make you feel exposed, make you feel busted, or just make you feel even worse because you probably didn't know that they even like knew what you were doing. See, because it's what you can't see. A Pisces knows exactly what you finna say when you start talking. But the problem is that if you corner a Pisces and you think that, oh, they're just gonna let you just, just share all your emotional, turmoils and stories, you got another thing coming because I'm telling you, a Pisces will literally will snap on you, fam, because they'll say, hey, what do you want? They might say, what do you want? I don't want to, what are you trying to tell me? What do you want? And it's like, damn, you might feel like, damn, why you so rough and, aggressive? It's just like, you gotta remember with Pisces, moods, man, moods. And I don't feel like it. And we all know how us Pisces can be. When we get in our moods, we do not want to be bothered, fam. It ain't nothing personal. It's just that I gotta be thinking out how I'm finna navigate through work tomorrow with my boss hating on me. And hey, sometimes we don't want to get distracted because we can hear your emotions. The problem is that we can absorb all your information, that it's almost like we could take on what you doing and it's a whole separation between two lives, but we just pick up on everything to where it's hard for us to separate. See, this life used to do the wash, and you can't wash, whites with darks. It's like you got to separate the laundry and, keep everything separate. But that is, could you imagine a Pisces trying to separate your shit and their shit too? It's like, no, I got my own shit, my own clothes, and hey, I gotta separate my shit, my clothes. You separate your own stuff. See? And that's what the best example when a Pisces get emotionally overloaded. See? Because they only have the amount of energy to focus on what they're doing. Now, another thing is okay, so another thing, why must a Pisces be careful? Because a Pisces absorbs other people's moods. See? And that's the thing, like this could be good or bad, because if a Pisces is around you all the time, a Pisces is gonna know you in your moods, like that. It's just so simple to where if you pick up on somebody's moods, you almost can be like them. It's almost like a person that mimics your behavior and behaves just like you. So that's why I said the reflection is like always on. It's almost like it's a channel. And a lot of times when a Pisces knows how you behave, man, it's cold-blooded, because the Pisces can be way worse than you are with that mood, because a Pisces gonna take it up to the extreme level of what that mood is like, higher than you used it. And hey, you ain't gonna like it, because the Pisces has become one in itself with you. So it's like, damn, how can you have my mood and take my mood as your own and use it against me? That's cold-blooded. See that? Because people can't handle, if they have a mood, especially if they try to use it to control you, and you already know what their mood is, and you start using it on them, they can't handle it. See? because the intent. See, if the intent was to behave like that and to, to control you emotionally, then they actually feel defeated. It's like, oh, how you gonna use my own move on me? Like, that's my mood. Like, how you gonna behave like I behave? And that's what people be like, yo, you around me too much. See that? There's like they get mad, they get angry because you just so smart and you just pick up on people patterns. You pick up on other people's illusions, man. So like if you hanging around somebody, because a Pisces can think it's funny, like a Pisces can be entertained by it, like you not being yourself, and the Pisces can always show you like that you a clown, like, oh, you ain't really being who you are. So when I put this mood on and I'm acting more like you, and you don't like that side of yourself, it's like, hey, somebody got to own it at the end of the day. So if you ain't really like that, stop doing that shit. See, stop acting like you this type of person with that mood, and then get mad when somebody else is reflecting it back. Now you basically feel exposed because you know that that's not the real you. See that? Now that's the power of absorption. Now the next one is the fact that a Pisces, you gotta be careful when you avoid confrontation too long. See, because everything may require for you to have a voice, even if you don't want to, even if you don't like it. You can't be you can't avoid confrontation for too long. That's another thing. Something that when you hear people say, I'll do it later. I know a lot of y'all may have heard that before, where people tell you, oh, I'll do it later. We'll handle it later. But let me tell you a secret. Later, when you wait to do things, that's when the coffee gets cold. See, when you wait, oh, I'll do it later, it's never going to get done, fam. So don't let people lie to you and tell you later. Oh, we'll go later. Later, I'm going to tell you what it really means. It means the person doesn't want it. They don't want to do it. See? Oh, I'll do it later. I'll eat later. They're not going to eat later, fam. It's just like I say, if you notice that when the coffee is done, whatever you want in life, when your coffee is done in the morning, you want to drink it while it's warm. Why would you wait till later? It's going to be cold. You ain't going to want to drink it. So you have to use the analogy and know that, hey, if you try to procrastinate through life, you're never going to finish that shit. Who would ever say, oh, I'll do my test later? Oh, I'll study later. Yeah, I got a big, huge exam tomorrow, but hey, I'll study later. Nah, watch the game. You don't want to pass that class. See that? Because you're putting it off. You don't want it. See? That ain't no different than casting aside and saying, yo, y'all can have it. Hey, Sonny, are you going to eat that cheeseburger that you bought earlier? Nah, eat it later. No, you're not. You might as well just give that shit away, fam. You is not finna eat it. Because if you wanted it, you would have ate it. Why you let it get cold? See? So that's the thing. Like, people waste time. But getting back to this, you cannot avoid confrontation too long. Sometimes you have to say, that's the difference. You got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. Now, Jocelyn said, I do coffee with ice, but said when I get I'll do it later, I tell them, hey, you won't right away. They end up doing it. Facts, because that's the thing. When basically the whole reason I'm saying that is because, like, if you want to do something in life, you have to do it right now, fam. Like, you want to start a business, you got to do it right now, because somebody is always thinking, and we all think at the same damn time. There was a earlier, and I know you guys gonna think I'm high as a kite, not just high hello, but y'all gonna think I'm high as a kite because I thought of something, and I know, it could be related to my moon in Aquarius. Okay, it's just very weird and eccentric anyway, but hey, why not share it? So I thought of this. If everybody, and like I say, some people might take it as a joke, but I'm not funny. I'm not trying to be funny when I say this. But if everybody in the world farted at the same goddamn time, would it be a nuclear explosion? Would that be an outside of the world experience? Think about that. But I'm not funny. I'm not trying to be funny. I do apologize, you guys, but that was something that I really thought about. I said, damn, if everybody farted at the same time, would there be a nuclear bomb? Would there be a nuclear explosion outside this world? What would happen? But I said to myself, that would be something that's rare. You know, you think of different ideas and say to yourself, hey, that's never happened before. I actually never thought of that. But the reason why I said that, I know that, okay, so you gotta really go deeper in depth what I'm saying. How many people think outside the box? So if I sit there and say, oh, if everybody farted at the same time, would there be a nuclear explosion outside of this world experience, right? How many people actually think like that? I'll wait. So that's you thinking, that's you thinking huge. That's how your dreams are huge. You have explosions of just different ideas. See? That's like you being able to foresee the future, starting something that's revolutionary, you being a pioneer, you doing it right now. All of a sudden, it becomes something 10 years later. That's powerful. The whole point of me saying that, you guys, is that, bro, you got to think outside the box, bro, because listen, the creative things don't come in a box. It don't come in a box. See, when creative things go through what? A manufacturer, you know, go through some type of machine. It's built. It's not something that, oh, here you go, little cheeseburger box, here you go, have it. Hope you like it. No. See, but that's just something to food for thought, okay? Now, the next thing is the fact when it comes to giving your emotions freely, okay? So think of this. Think of your emotions like your favorite candy, okay? So you can't overgive emotions. Never do this, because not everybody is what? Deserving of it. That's your energy. So you have to understand, like, when you overgive emotionally, you're going to be taken for a ride, because that is something unique to yourself. See how you feel, and you can show, hey, you can have a biggest heart in the world and have, you know, good intentions and, hey, love somebody like they never loved themselves, but you can't give that to everybody. See, that's something special to you. You got to know that and say, okay, hey, there's value in this. I ain't finna share this with just anybody. See, so you have to know when you can share this, but overgiving, you're emotionally, no. You notice how much you give emotionally when you are in an emotional situation where, and put it like this, which requires of it. What would you know, things that you wouldn't do. Do you notice that when you actually value your emotions, you are not quick to give up anything. But when you are emotionally vulnerable, you start giving everything. So it's like, oh, somebody could have bought you a brand new leather coat. It could have been a $200 coat, but now you're in your emotions and you might like someone, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, you know, you need a coat. Oh, you can have this coat that my grandma, you know, got me for Christmas 3 years ago. And it's like, oh, you did that out of your emotions, but you don't know if this person is appreciative. That's cold-blooded, see? So you could just start giving away too much, giving away stuff that means something of value, see? And that's the lesson behind not overgiving emotionally. See that? Because it blinds you. It actually discards you. You lose power when you start letting your emotions get the best of you. See? Now, what you have to learn is to master your emotions. Separate them, just like the whites versus the blacks when it comes to your clothes. Before you put them in the washing machine, see? No mixing. And that's the thing you got to know when it comes to your emotions versus, hey, keeping that separation. Because if you mix emotions with decisions, and it's going to mess up everything, see? And you're going to be living in what? You're going to be regretful of, oh, man, I shouldn't have done that. Because I'm going to tell you, want to know something that's funny. When you drink, you do foolish things. You are outside of yourself. You are no longer in control of your senses or, hey, your good reasoning, decision making, right? So it's the same thing with emotions. When you are being very emotional, it's no different than being drunk. See? Because when you're gonna overshare either way, if you're drunk, you're oversharing. You're telling it all. You're telling the secrets. You're snitching. You're doing everything that you're not supposed to be doing. You're crashing into shit, getting DUIs. But the same shit happens when you're overly emotionally just giving everything away. You're giving all this expensive stuff away. You're sharing everything that you know you wouldn't had you been in your right mind. See? Now, the next thing, you have to trust intentions over actions. See? Intentions over actions, because just because a person is doing something doesn't mean they mean it, because their intentions are differently, they're gonna end up hurting you. See? That's why you gotta know, that's how you have to know what people's intent, what is their intent behind this, okay? Why are they giving away free cookies? What is the intent? See? And not everybody is trying to give away free cookies. That's the illusion that, oh yeah, we're giving free cookies away. You want one? I know you want one, but why? See that? Always ask why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to give me $100? Why do you want to do such and such? Why do you want to come over here? Because the thing about it is, as they say, if you are not invited to someone's gathering, if you're not invited, don't go. Do not ask. Listen, if you don't get an invitation somewhere, don't go. You were not invited. If a person don't give you an invitation, don't go. See? Don't even ask, because, listen, if a person wants you to be there, they're going to ask you, hey, such, you want to come to my party? They're going to be direct with you. Oh, hey, such, you want to come to my, I'm having this huge party. I'm getting married on Friday. You want to come? They're going to ask you directly. Never accept invitations through the air where, oh, your grandma's telling you how, oh, Uncle such is having to get together, and oh, he wants the family to come. No, because he didn't invite you. You didn't get an invitation personally. Don't go. Because I'm gonna tell you, if people discard you from any type of event, you don't get an invitation, fam. That means those people are your enemies. See, they've already communicated that to you. And you notice when you ask and you weren't invited, oh, you can come if you want. Oh, you can come if you want. That doesn't mean that, oh, I want you to come. Oh, you can come if you want, but we ain't finna be talking to you. That's what they're leaving out. See, so intentions. You have to pay attention to what intentions. Now, over actions. Now, the next thing is the fact you have to be careful, and when it comes to romanticizing potential. See, when it comes to the whole potential situation, and you romanticizing about it, like, oh yeah, we could possibly get married, and hey, we can have kids, and yo, we could do this and do that. No, you got to be careful, because people always want to know what you want. What's your goal for them? What? To backstab you, to see where those soft spots are in your back, so they can, hey, put that dagger in you. Now, the next thing what Pisces had to be careful about is ignoring those early red flags. See, you have to you got to be careful, because a red flag can be something small. It doesn't always have to be a big, huge red flag. It's like somebody's waving this huge flag like, yo, it's a red flag. Don't do it. No, it could be somebody just waving a small ass, miniature light flag, red flag, a small red flag. And red flags, you have to pay attention, man, for the smallest inkling of a situation that is not it. It's a red flag for a reason. Put it like that. And you want to know the difference is that if someone had a yellow flag, that would be like, oh, proceed with caution, right? So if there's a red flag, that means no access. Don't do it. Don't go over there. Don't hang with this person. So you have to, you can't ignore the whole fact in its meaning. Now, when it comes to the next one is that I have is, you are not responsible for other people's pain. See, Pisces, you are not responsible for other people's pain. When they're going through something, they're having a bad day, that ain't got nothing to do with you. So separate it. Because even if you absorb it, you can still separate it. There's nothing wrong with hearing somebody out without taking it on for for yourself. See, it's like, hey, here's this plate of food that I didn't finish because I'm just having a shitty day. And hey, Pisces, this is for you. You can separate it. Well, no, I don't want it. Yeah, I hear what you're saying and everything, but hey, you can keep that. I don't want it. Okay, well, we just get thrown in the garbage then, right? So yeah, at least it's all for you. So other people's pain is not your responsibility. Another thing too is people can what? They can confuse, do not confuse empathy with obligation. See this? Because a lot of time people could try to make you feel obligated to feel sorry for their ass. No. Oh, I don't have a ride. Somebody could be in a situation at work and try to put everything on your shoulders, Pisces. Oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to eat Friday because I don't get paid till to Tuesday. And hell, hey, they got this whole sob story already set in motion only to what? Confuse you. See? And try to make you feel obligated because they know that you have empathy. See? That's the thing with empathy. It's a superpower. It's a hidden superpower within you. And people get addicted to what it can do because they already have received blessings from you. Maybe it had been, you taking a coat off for a person that didn't have a coat. You gave them a ride home. You cooked them a hot meal. You basically took in somebody that was going through something. So people already know that you're hot wired. They know, oh, where's that empathy? How you did me on Friday, that was so fabulous. I want it every day. And they become addicted to that, just empathy alone. So people want to manipulate you and make you feel bad in order to rob you of your empathy. See that? So that a lot of times you got to be careful, Pisces, because sometimes you can think a person really love you, but they only love that one thing. See? They'll use you until they have no use for you. So the empathy, do not confuse it with obligation. Now, another thing too, be careful with delayed boundaries, okay? Now, remember I said to set those boundaries early. Just like if you were, planting and, hey, watering your plants because, hey, you already know what's going to happen next. You just trust the process. But do not delay boundaries because, listen, if you don't lock that front door, the enemy is going to get in, fam. Because the enemy is checking everything. He's checking for a door that's not locked. So if you delay boundaries and you say, oh, I'll do it later. I'll lock the door later on. No one's going to come through. No one's going to come through my front door. Hey, that is the worst thing you could do. Underestimate the enemy. See? The enemy is always watching. The enemy is always keeping score. And he waits because he knows that you just might not lock the front door. You might forget. You might see, because the enemy, he's not going to let up. He's not going to stop. He's always on the prowl. He's always lurking. So you have to know that do not delay boundaries. Next thing is be careful not to bottle up resentment. See? Because that robs you of what? Your power. It robs you of your intuition. You want to keep a clear mind. You don't want to hold grudges. You don't want to be in a situation where, oh, you're still mad at such and such from 4 years ago. That's not going to help you regarding your whole intuition, because that whole you bonding to that trauma from that past experience. Remember I said you become that person's prisoner. See, so you gotta just know to let it go. Forgiveness gives you power. See, because as soon as you say, you know, I ain't even mad at you, that person is already long gone. You are not their prisoner, because you've already took the keys away. You're like, yo, I forgive you. So now that person is probably, yeah, of course they're going to be pissed, but that's not a healthy way for you to focus on that alone by saying, oh, this person is mad, or yeah, they're mad because I walked away, or hey, you know, I threw away the key, I didn't give them access again. You want to just do everything in a healthy way, because that's going to keep your intuition very, you know, potent, more keen. So it'll be easier for you to hear from it. Now, the next thing you got to be careful with, Pisces, is jealousy, okay? Now, jealousy gets in the way. Now, when it comes to bending reality, this is what I'm talking about. Jealousy. See, bending reality, because this could what? Put somebody in great danger. The risk of trusting someone that is jealous of you. Jealousy, okay, listen, the process of jealousy, that happens before projection. See? And what happens is, if remember I said the process. So as soon as a person is festering that jealousy, they're getting ready to strike. See? Because no one wants to own it. See? It comes from a dark place, it comes from a low place. It is what? Bottled up frustration. So that leads to jealousy. So when it gets filtered to that, it becomes a weapon. See? And you don't see it coming, because they never show you that they're making it in the first place. They never show you what they're cooking up for you. See, now, when this happens, the jealousy comes in different forms. This is the problem. It's not just the feeling of it that one feels. The problem is that it formulates into something else bigger than what. Imagine a mad scientist, right? Imagine a mad scientist. He's in his lab coat and he's just trying to put together something, right? Next thing you know, he starts getting frustrated because he wants to be like Professor, you know, Marco, or whoever it is that probably exceeds and is very successful, but he can't do it like him. He gets frustrated. So he's like, you know what? F it. I'ma just, you know, hey, I can't be like this one scientist. So what I'm gonna do is use that jealousy and create. He gonna formulate and make something that he wasn't intending to make. See, because then once it becomes bigger than you, then it's a problem. That's why I said it bends reality. So when jealousy formulates, that's when Pisces is misunderstood, because it gets in the way. You can't change you cannot change a person's mind once they're jealous. They're not hearing you, fam. You could be like, yo, it ain't like that. I got the, hey, I share it with you, or hey, you ain't gotta feel like that. Bro, you cannot change a jealous person's mind. It formulated already into a weapon. You can't go back in time and change anything, because it was a process that led up to that jealousy in the first place. A person don't just become jealous. It festers. See, a person is sitting on that thought. Remember I said, it's just like planting a seed. When a person is planting, making plants and, you know, putting seeds and watering it, that's what happens with jealousy. It becomes out of control. The mad scientist, he didn't know that he was going to create a monster out of it. And guess who becomes the monster? Himself. He manifested that. See? Now it's like, oh, how are we going to stop it? How are we going to stop it? Somebody is going to what? Think of Goliath and David. when it comes to Goliath, he was like this huge, giant. Everybody was scared of him. See? And the very first thing about his mindset is that he didn't like things. I don't like this. I don't like this person. I don't like this. So he wanted to destroy him. That's why I said a person that festers jealousy will take you out, fam. This is way worse than a person that just hates you. A person that hates you, they can live with it. A person that's jealous of you, they can't live with you. No. See, it's either you or them. That's how they think. That is the war. That's why I said bends reality, because listen, realistically speaking, if one person goes to war with another war camp or whatnot, one feels so certain in their thoughts. How would somebody say, "Oh, you guys stop, no more, no, don't have a war, please don't"? What are you going? You ain't gonna be able to stop no damn war with two huge freaking camps. Like, bro, they end up blowing your brains out. You ain't gonna be able to stop them. You just gonna be in the way. So that's why I said jealousy, it bends reality. See, because at that point there is no more realistic way of thinking. There's no more logic. See, it's like, hey, you got out of control. You let this shit go too far. See. Now you got it in your head that, oh, I'm already destroyed. See, that's how you know that person got their mind made up. Now, when it comes to the next one, once a Pisces is triggered, it escalates. See this? It escalates into silence. See, because a Pisces at that moment knows that they're under attack. They know that if I continue to talk, that's not going to fix it. So it's only right for me to what? Escape. Problem is, your version of escape is not the same meaning when a Pisces escapes. See, the silence means that we have escaped. You don't know that, oh, you thinking that, oh, we just escaped like we ran off somewhere. No. A Pisces is saying, oh, I left. I took my energy away from it. Now, oh boy, it's like, oh, the other fish done took over at this moment. So I'm out of here. I'm not present. See? So that's the problem of people don't realize, is that when a Pisces escape a situation, their energy is not there anymore. It's not present. You can't feel them. You will be lost, left in the dark. A Pisces is no longer feeling you, fam. You are invisible, long gone over. It ain't no different than RP. We just waiting on them to make your headstone. It's over with. We are not coming back to that particular situation with that same energy. No, it's over with. So that's when a Pisces escapes in the present moment. Now you're left with that. You left with that shark, see? Because if you're not careful, you be swallowed by a whale and don't even know it. You won't even know what happened to you, see? People be asking you, when, what happened, bro? What happened? What happened? What happened to you, bro? Oh, man, I heard he got ate by a shark, bro. Oh, damn. See, I told him not to go over there. You know, little stuff like that. Not literally ate by a shark, but what ends up happening is that a Pisces is going to be what? Evasive. A Pisces is going to going to isolate you. And listen, you thinking that, oh, that Pisces quiet or he don't want to say nothing and she don't want to say nothing, bro. They really waiting, fam. They're really waiting for the opportune time. And then all of a sudden you think they're gone and they done forgot or they done forgave. And no, the Pisces is literally going to strike at a particular time when you least expect it, when you least expect them to, but you won't have a chance to react. Now, another thing is the fact, another thing that Pisces got to be careful about is when a Pisces feels unseen. Now, this is a big one because Pisces always thinks that somebody didn't see them. See, you might always feel invisible to people. You might always feel different from others. But here's the thing, that may be true in everything, but You are seen, fam. You are seen, fam. Why do you think got hidden enemies in the first place? They saw you. They just didn't want to meet you. That's what it was. They didn't want you to see them. And that's what you got to watch out for. People are always watching you, Pisces. They keep a fine-tooth comb. Every little move you make, they watching you. The problem is when you look up, you don't see nothing. See? So you assume that, oh, ain't nobody see me, nobody pay me no mind, no attention. Yes, they do. They watch the car you get into, they watch your brake, they're watching you. On the cameras, they watch you. Now, okay, you said, see, Cliff said, what would your message be to a 20-year-old that don't have a dad and mom in their lives and that are active in the streets and that grew up in their environment that look up to their OG? Man, I would say, man, go to school, bro. Man, just get a job. Keep yourself busy. Stay out of them streets, fam, because the streets ain't nothing there, fam. Like, I literally, like I say, I used to be in the streets when I was younger, and it was nothing there for me. And I'm going to tell you, I was one of the type of people that would always be on the porch. Like, just like, before I got a car, before I knew what I wanted to do in life, I used to always be on the porch. And I had a homeboy that I was cool with. He was a Pisces too. And he got locked up. He got locked up when I was like, I had to have been about 16. And me and the Pisces, we was ace boon coons. We was like literally cool. Like, man, I don't know how to say it, man. Like, bro was cool as hell, funny. And we just had some good memories. And then all of a sudden, dude get locked up. He catch like 12 years out of nowhere. Boom. I'm like, I ain't know what to do. I'm like, damn. So me sitting on the porch, you know, talking to his mom was a Cancer. And like, we used to always be talking about, you know, good old times. But I felt stuck because, like, you could be waiting on the porch and life could just pass you by to where you got to just stay busy, fam. You got to have the mindset that I'm going to do it anyway. Like, you got to be hungry for success. You got to be consistent. And you cannot go off emotion, fam. You got to do stuff when you don't even feel like it. You got to be like, yo, I'm going to go work 2 full-time jobs. I'm finna save this money. I'm finna buy me a house. I'm finna grind my ass off. And I ain't letting nothing stop me. You got to be relentless. You got to be fully just like locked in, fam, to where I don't give a damn blood, sweat, and tears. My ass is finna work 2 full-time jobs, get some dental insurance, get some health insurance, get my license, and be on my happy, independent self, fam. I wouldn't focus on don't focus on no females. That'll come later, fam. You gotta be a boss. You gotta stand on your own fucking, you got your own, listen, you gotta hold your own, fam, because listen, like, I say this, like, growing up, like, my father, he's a Taurus, okay? So basically, my father was in the military, so I had a military upbringing. And, you know, anybody that had, you know, parents that's, you know, military, being in the military. So my father wasn't really all emotional, you know. He wasn't like on no spoiling, feeling sorry for you. He basically would told me and my brother, like, yo, y'all gotta go out there and make it happen, fam, because I ain't got nothing for you, fam. Like, you gotta go out there and get your own car. You gotta go out there and get your own, you know, car insurance, whatever it is. You gotta go out there and make it happen, fam. Like, you know, he even told me his Capricorn dad didn't have nothing for him, see? So that let me know, like, that's why he went to the military. So everything tells you to jump off the porch, fam, not in the streets way, but just to, hey, go to school, go do something, just to go live, fam, because listen, it's gonna pay off. Soon as you keep yourself busy, you're gonna be like, bro, as long as you as long as you working, as long as you getting money, as long as you moving, you on your way, fam. You on your way because I appreciate that. Let me see. Appreciate that. What's her name? Freedom Works. Appreciate that. Now, you on your way, man, because listen, when you be on your grind, guess what? It's women out there that look for a man like you. See, that's on his shit. See, you gotta understand there's levels to the type of person that you want to be in life versus the type of people that you attract. See, if you on your money, and hey, even if you work at McDonald's and Burger King together, fam, listen, it's gonna be a woman out there that want that, fam. Like, oh damn, because they see it's so crazy. Women want a man that's focused on his own shit, fam. Like, you would think it's the other way around. Like, nah, fam, you gotta be on your grind, fam, and locked in. Because listen, you gotta have a mindset. You gotta train your mind to say, I'm gonna do it anyway. When people don't, when you go through rejection, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna do it anyway. Even if I don't feel like doing these videos, I'm still gonna do them. See? Because listen, you know it's gonna pay off, fam. You ain't worried about, being tired, fam. No. You never get comfortable, bro. You always should be grinding, trying to get more, trying to, it's okay to take a break. It's okay to, take a day off or two, but I'm just saying, like, you don't want to burn yourself out either, but I'm saying balance it. And I'm telling you, if you just keep on grinding, like even I say with working out, when you work out, you gotta snap. Okay, listen, everybody has a flame inside of them, right? Not literally, but you have a flame. And that flame is what motivates you. It was what keep you going. And your flame can become even huge if you ignite it right. See, as soon as you take a step and you say, yo, you know what? I'm finna change this. I'm finna get fit. No more excuses. I'm done playing, fam. You go out there, you get up early in the morning, you don't feel like it, you tired. You get on that cardio machine and you just start going because you awaken. Listen, you awaken that inner you. See, you awaken, and then you will feel it too, because you'll be like, man, damn, I normally be asleep or, laying around or something. And all of a sudden you working out. So now you like, damn, that's all I had did was I just got to, hey, I got serious. I put my mind to it. I committed to it. See, I bonded to it. Man, listen, that's why I tell people you have to bond, fam. You have to say, you got to treat that workout like it's your girlfriend. Like, you have to train your mind to be disciplined, fam, because otherwise, if you don't see the good in it, you ain't gonna do it. But you gotta, in order for you to change the outcome, you have to love it. It's this cold-blooded, fam. Listen, you have to love working out. Even if you don't, you gotta tell yourself, man, I love this so much, bro. I love getting on this little machine. I love hitting these weights. I love it because, listen, as soon as you do that, you're going to stick to it. Cold-blooded. You're gonna be loyal to that every day because you love it. Love is you need that to actually have progress. See, to succeed, you have to have love. See? And then remember I said, you emotionally, what are you doing? You're giving that one thing all the energy. See, the energy is what keeps you going. See, because what are you doing? You're gaining, you're benefiting off of that anyway. So you're not losing. I know I kind of went long on it, but like me, I say this, like I don't work a 9 to 5, as you guys know. I'm self-employed, and I refuse to work a 9 to 5 because, bro, like I literally want to do what I want to do. See, I always wanted, and I had this goal like 10, 12 years ago. I said, yo, I'd rather just, do my own thing. See, have my own business, be an entrepreneur. I don't want to be micromanaged by, just No, because I know that I got so much more to offer the universe. Like, so that's why, I knew I was weird growing up. So I always saw myself as different. I always saw myself as weird. I never talked the same as other people, acted the same. And I knew like other people saw me different too. See, he don't act like us. He ain't talking like how, whatever the situation may be, you just like, yo, this person's different. I don't really know what's up with him. But it's okay to be weird because listen, weird means what? You stand out. See? Your personality stands out, and that means that if you're outside of yourself, then what are you doing? See, you're on to bigger and better things. And listen, that means every weird person got something to bring to the universe. See, we got to have different ideas. We have to be different. And we're all still what? Humans. So you would think, listen, the funny thing in life, the lesson that I've learned that I actually created myself is that mistakes need to happen. See, you have to make mistakes, fam, because listen, fear is your teacher. See that? And shout out to Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee did say that. He said, and he is Sagittarius, and he come with different philosophical ideas. It makes sense. Fear is your teacher. Everything that you're afraid to do in life, you must what? Defeat it. You got to defeat those thoughts that, I'm black and I can't go to school to be a doctor. That's a lie, fam. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Oh, yeah, man. You're not a stereotype. No, you're not. No, those are lies. Listen, everything that try to stop you is just noise. It's just noise. You still have to isolate yourself from it. Yeah, everything around me is telling me I can't, I won't. But what am I doing? I'm doing it. Cold-blooded. See? Because you're manifest. Listen, as soon as you say I'm going to do it, it's already done. It's already done. Because you already what? You accepted it. If I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. That's all it takes. Don't matter if I'm black and white. It don't matter, fam. I'm doing it. Listen, people look at me and say, oh, who is this? Who is this black guy doing this astrology stuff? Who is this? Oh, what is he doing? Bro, that don't mean nothing. See, when you pass away, you think that God's going to say, yo, is this black guy? Who is this black guy sitting inside? Who is this guy right? It's not, race ain't going to have nothing to do with whether or not you go to the afterlife, you go to heaven or hell, you could be a damn, you could be a damn, I ain't going to, hey, cut that shit out, man. I'm just saying, like, it don't matter. That's not going to be a part of the decision of where you go. Because guess what? If your ass sinning and you doing all the bad stuff anyway, your ass going regardless if you're orange, you're purple, it don't matter. See that? So that's the thing. People try to make a big deal out of those things, but think of fear. See? Because fear tries to keep you bound, fam. Tries to keep you from doing it yourself. It's cold-blooded. Fear keeps you a slave, fam. Yes, it does. Because you'll always be going to somebody else to what? To run it. You don't believe you could do it. So then you go work for the 9 to 5, see, for the rest of your life. Because you're afraid to do your own. You're afraid to be a boss, a leader, and start your own thing. Do you know it's the same outcome? If you are fearful, it's the same outcome. Once you say I'm afraid, you already lost, fam. See? And I'm going to tell you, the people, like, when I say not everybody wants to win, fam. Not everybody wants to change. Not everybody wants a fit body. Not everybody wants peace, joy, and happiness. Some people already signed up for a miserable life. And they are stubborn and rebellious that they're not going to change it, fam. And hey, that's absolutely fine. But that doesn't mean that you have to listen to their decisions and accept them. See? Because you could do anything you put your mind to. That's why I say you have to change your perspective. You have to change your mindset on life. You know what's the funniest thing? Now, I'm going to tell you guys a secret. Now, this is the vulnerability conversation here, but hey, when I say this, I was a person in college. I could not, bro, as you guys hear me talk now, you know, I stutter from time to time, but I never thought I'd ever be doing this type of content where, hey, I'm on camera talking. Because listen, I used to be extremely shy that, hey, I could have, man, when I would get on, do presentations in college, it was like I would have almost a panic attack, fam. Like fight or flight. As soon as I started talking, I just couldn't talk. My confidence was like to where I just didn't feel comfortable speaking to people. And I had to face that fear. I had to face that fear and look them right in the face and say, you know what? I'm going to do this. Even if I'm scared as shit, shaking in my boots, I'm still going to get up there and present. It's my turn. Okay, boom. I got the floor. Boom, I'm doing it. And I'm going to tell you guys, like, this situation, it scared the hell out of me. Because I actually had to go before in student hall in college and give a presentation, an impromptu speech. And you want to know what I was doing? I was shaking. And I'm talking about everybody saw me up there just shaking and yeah, so this is my project and yeah, and you want to know what happened? I'm telling you guys, most embarrassing thing in my life. I forgot my whole project. I had already studied. I already knew what I was going to say. But when I got up there on that podium and started to talk, I forgot. I forgot my whole project. And in my mind went blank. Like the lights just shut off in my brain. Like, and then I was just like, man, you know what? Just screw this shit, man. Like I was frustrated and just flustered because so forget about being embarrassed. I just literally could not talk in front of people. And I share my story because this is what ended up happening. Anything that I ever felt afraid of, I made sure I went through the damn fire. And I just kept telling myself, I'm going to learn how to talk in front of people. People are people. Don't be afraid of them. They're just humans. They're not going to hurt you. It's okay. And see, me looking at people in a different perspective, it changed my mindset that people are just people. Yeah, people are always going to talk shit. That's just something that happens. Get over it. Calm your tits. See, don't get your panties in a bunch. It's like, hey, people are always going to talk shit. Get over it. When I changed my mindset, nothing, it never got to me anymore. There was no more fear. See? And what ended up happening was when it was time for me to get that speech, and once I already knew what it was, I took off. It conquered that fear. See? Because I kept even with jobs, I kept taking leadership jobs. I kept taking manager jobs. I kept taking jobs that required me to what? Talk. Now I can't stop talking. See? And one other little story I'll tell you guys is when I went to the studio to rap, me and my little, homeboys in my childhood, we all rapping. And he was a Leo. He was real, a lyricist. He was good with the raps and whatnot. And he took my Pisces ass to the studio with him. And I'll never forget this. I'm literally emotional as hell. I'm like, bro, I'm feeling super emotional because I'm trying to rap. and make it sound good. So we play the beat. We in the damn booth. I'm like literally scared as shit because I'm like, bro, I ain't never seen this type of studio stuff. I don't know what's finna happen. I hope it sound good. I'm just worried like a nervous wreck. The Leo goes in there, he's all confident and proud, and he go in there, whoop-de-woo, doing the raps, boom. Then he said, okay, man, bro, it's your turn. I said, man, don't even put me on this shit, bro, because I ain't trying to F it up. Because one thing about me, at least I know that I'm good at effing shit up. See, I own it. Like, I would really, you want to talk about showstopper, I'll really cancel the show. See, tomatoes thrown at me. I don't give no fuck, man. Hey, at least I know. But I go in the booth. It's your turn, bro. I grab the mic. The mic is right here. And it's like, I hear the beat. Then the dude that's doing the production and stuff, he all feeling it. And then he was like, I was just off beat. And as soon as I started talking, it was like, I was just like, yo, I went to the such and such, and then, I had a fraud. And I'm like, bro, this ain't coming out right. I said, this ain't even sounding good, bro. This shit ass. And I was just like, man, I got so mad that I just threw the damn mic. I literally forgot where I was, and it wasn't my mic. And I literally slapped the damn mic down. And he was like, bro, you just broke my mic. I was like, oh, man, my fault. I said, I ain't even tried to. And then I got frustrated because I couldn't, my lyrics, everything I wrote down was just not, it was not sounding right, fam. It was just like words on paper that meant nothing. And like literally I was rhyming with the words that don't even go with the damn word. It wasn't no metaphor. It was just scribble, scrabble, just bullshit. And then I'm like, bro, man, they had to take my verse off the song. That's what killed me, fam. Like, what the I ain't finna be on that song. Like, oh, no, bro. So they replaced my verse with another dude's verse. I'm like, and then I'm going to tell you how I felt. They talking about, listen, they in the front seat, and they like, yeah, man, we laced that. We did our thing on that. I'm left out. I'm in the back like, and then you know what? I'm going to tell you what happened. I said, that ain't never finna happen again, fam. I'm finna learn how to rap, learn how to do music. I'm finna learn how to make beats. I'm finna like really from the ground up. And I ain't gonna lie. I shared this situation, like my cousin, like when I first started doing music, did nobody fuck with me, bro. Everybody said my beats was trash. Like, bro, that shit sound like a video game. People was making fun of my beats. I was dead ass serious thinking like I'm in the studio, like, I got all the equipment. I got FL Studio and literally Pro Tools. And I'm really thinking like, boom, yeah. But the funny thing, I still believed in my craft, fam. No matter if people shutting me down, wouldn't buy my tape. I'm like, bro, it's all good, fam. It's all gonna pay off. Remember I said I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna make music anyway. Even if my shit sound trash, fam, I'm still dropping that shit, fam, because I love my own shit, fam. That's me. See, you gotta treat your shit, your craft like it's your baby, fam. Like it's your son, okay? That's my shit, fam. I don't give a damn what it look like. How it sound to you, fam, I love it. And I'm gonna keep doing it because I'm rebellious when it come to people trying to stop me, fam. See? I got moon in Aquarius, so I don't give a damn what people say about my music, my videos. Hey, I know that I always believe in my craft, fam. But this is the thing. It didn't happen overnight, fam. You gotta understand, it was times I cried, fam. Just like, damn, won't nobody even listen to my shit because I remember one time, this is a little funny now. The dude that I used to stay upstairs from me, I was like, I tried to let him hear my tape. And he was like, man, I ain't finna lie to you, bro. You Johns will just quit that shit, fam. That shit ass. I'm just looking like, I done heard it 20, 40 times that the shit's ass. I'm like, bro, like, damn, and you didn't give me like one song you didn't like. Nah, bro. He was like, but you gotta put me on there. Nah, nigga. I'm like, you ain't getting on my stuff. You ain't getting on my, if you said my shit ass, no. Keep that same energy, and you ain't finna use my equipment to get your raps on. How dare you? You know, so I'm just like, yo, that's the thing what I learned with life is that just because somebody don't like your stuff or they don't mess with it, somebody gonna like it, bro. You gotta just find your audience, bro. Like somebody gonna like, you could be doing something right now. You could be doing hair. You could be doing nails. And it might be the people that you are around in the house, they might not like what you're doing. People down the street might not like what you're doing. But that don't mean somebody in California or, hey, outside of yourself, they might love it. See? When somebody else, listen, I remember that, you know, when it come to dating, let's look at that. Come to dating, you might think that you're not attractive, or you might think that, oh, no, don't nobody wants you, fam. That's a lie, fam, because listen, if you go across, listen, if you actually go out there, you're gonna find somebody. Sometimes you might have to move. Sometimes you might have to start, hey, get on a dating app. Meet people outside of where you stay. And you will be surprised, like, damn, I met somebody up and down Hawaii. Or hey, I met somebody in California. It was Milwaukee might not have been it. You just gotta you have to keep believing, fam. And that's what I'll say about that. Now, getting back to this, you guys, let me see. Eduardo, yeah, I already got God, bro. Let me see. No, like I said, I got an intense personality, you guys, so I do a lot of yelling, you know, and the way I explain things, but I always say everything with truth, okay? So everything that I say happened, fam. So when like I say, that was for somebody that probably needed to hear that. That, hey, might have felt that confidence was, you know, not there. And hey, it is just like, yo, it take time. It's not going to be always perfect, fam. Like with anything. Now, let's talk about the next thing. Let me see. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's funny because I went to the doctor. Yeah, I went to the doctor yesterday. And it's so crazy because, yeah, I'm a like a big bone type of guy, but I'm healthy. That's funny. So I'm like, damn, you know, yeah, I could lose some pounds, but really I'm healthy. All my shit, my vitals, all my whole panel was good. So, hey, that's why I tell people, hey, you can't go by what you see, fam. It's what you can't see. Now, let's talk about it. So the next thing is Pisces, you got to be careful when the emotional fatigue builds. See, you just get drained emotionally. You will always want to be at your best regarding your emotions. You don't want to experience emotional fatigue, okay? Because that'll get in the way. The next thing, what you want to be careful with is communication. Because with communication, it will start to what? Break down. See? So you got to be careful with trying to just depend on communicating all the time. You remember I said talking too much could break down, see? Because now you run out of shit to say. You might, you know, whatever the situation may be. Another thing that a Pisces got to be careful about is snapping unexpectedly, okay? So remember I said a Pisces, when they escape a situation and they snap, they're no longer present. So sometimes they may have forgotten that they snap. See? Because sometimes a Pisces would be in that mindset and they snap and it's like, whoa, wait, did I just do what I just did? Like, damn. You know, it's like, yo, there was casualties and hey, people around that you ended up hurting. And now it's too late to say, oh, I'm sorry, because it already happened. But sometimes Pisces can forget because they actually what? They just did it so fast in a hurry. Like I remember times like as a Piscean, I remember times when I've hurt people that I wasn't really intending to hurt, where they were just either too close to me in the vicinity to where if I said something, it probably did, hit home with something that they may have done, and it just got brought up. See, because you might say, I'm tired of y'all. You might snap and say something like, I'm tired of y'all, and everybody always, trying to take from me, and y'all never got nothing for yourselves. And then it's like, damn, you just said that in front of somebody that you probably wasn't meaning to say that to. But because you being bombarded emotionally, sometimes you just snap. And somebody get their feelings hurt, and it's like, I wasn't even trying to hurt nobody's feelings. That wasn't the intention. It just ended up happening, and I spoke on a situation that somebody was going through, because a Pisces probably was irritated when a person had asked them for something, and a Pisces already was feeling overwhelmed. Now, another thing is other people may feel blindsided by you, Pisces, so you want to be careful with that. We definitely know how to catch somebody off guard, and we don't even be trying. Like, smash that like button if you agree. Sometimes another thing is we got to be careful with energy shifts, okay? So when I said oftentimes the Pisces will get blamed for the energy shifting, okay? Now, another thing too, when people, sometimes when people, they go through stuff, they start stuff, they would definitely project it onto you, Pisces. They would say, oh, it's your fault. So the blame, it could get shifted to you, Pisces. It's like, if you ever notice in a situation that requires transparency, or for people to actually, be truthful, if you are in that situation, oftentimes you will be blamed. See, and it wasn't even your fault. You didn't do nothing, but everybody blamed you. If everybody got written up at the job, they blamed you. See, it's like, oh, such did this. Oh yeah, the Pisces, yeah, it was them. You get blamed for something. See, because you have the victim. You have the victim complex. So it's like every time something jumps off, your name is already brought up and stirred and mixed into it. Now, I'm gonna tell you why that happens, because the ending of the cycle must happen, and you are required to what? To be there, to be present in the moment. So as soon as you are in that, as soon as you get blamed for something, then you're like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna start dropping the truth bombs. You're gonna start exposing stuff. You're gonna shatter other people's illusions. And then all of a sudden cycles get ended and new beginnings happen. See? And you always witness it. You always be the one to see the change from, how things used to be chaotic and just, crazy. And then all of a sudden it's like, yo, now you got all new staff at the job because you were there to what? Witness everybody get fired working with you. You's almost like you clean house by your presence. See? Because a lot of people can't take your energy, Pisces. That's the thing. Now, just know another thing to be careful, Pisces, with is guilt. Because guilt, it follows anger. See? A lot of the people that are guilty don't like to own it. See? They don't like to embrace it. So anytime there's guilt, people are what? Angry. See? That's how you know anger leads to it goes hand in hand. It's different, it's separate. Guilt is separate from anger, but when a person is guilty, that's what happens. It's followed by anger. Now, just know that Pisces, what you have to be careful about as well is cycles repeat themselves. See? So it's not just you picking up on a pattern, but if somebody hurts you, they'll do it 1,000 more times. So there's no point of you having to drink the whole seed just to know that it's salty, okay? So it's like once somebody betray you one time, they're going to do it again. I know you might disagree with me, but I'm here to tell you they're going to do it again. See, betrayal is intentional, it's final. It's almost like Final Destination. It is the final moment that a person has chosen that, hey, I don't care. I want to screw this person over. See? So there's no coming out. Yeah, once you pull the cat out of the bag, you can't put it back. With that type of decision, you already planned it, premeditated. So that's why I say that the cycle repeats itself. And then why are you always involved is because it requires an ending. See? So that's why you're always in a situation you don't want to be in, because it requires you to end it. So it no longer repeats itself, because you pick up on patterns and cycles, meaning illusions. Now, how do we know this to be true? Well, if you look at a hurricane, do you actually see the eye of the storm? No. See? You just feel the effects. How do you know it's a hurricane in the first place? See? Because you can see the damage that it does. But do you actually see the whole eye of the storm? Do you see anything that's going on within the ocean? No. So that's how you know that something is bad is happening, because you can feel it. So that's how you know when you are looking at a situation, a pattern. How do you know it's a pattern? How do you know that it's a cycle? You know that the cycle is there anyway. But how do you know that it's going to repeat itself? You see that? It's because you can feel it. Empathy is one of the strongest, it's one of the strongest things you can have. Because the powerful thing about it is you can see the pattern clearly. And you also can feel. See, you can feel you can feel the cycle, and you know that it's so consistent that it will repeat itself. Every hurricane comes to do one thing. It will never be anything different. It will never be something. It's the same cycle. It repeats itself. No matter what the damn name of the storm is, it still does the same damage. So that's why I said you can feel the best. This is what Pisces must know about the illusion, is that the illusion, you will always be able to what? See the truth and know that it's going to do the same shit, fam. It's never going to catch you by surprise, because it's going to do this. It's going to repeat the same cycle. See? So you will never fall for the illusion, because you can see clearly by feeling that, oh, it's just going to do the same thing. What do I have to be afraid about? Why do I have to sit here and watch it? Ain't nothing to watch. It just does the same shit over. Every time it comes, it does the same shit. That's why other people fall for it. That's why other people get stuck in the illusion. See? Because they can't feel anything. They don't know. See? They don't know. And they are not sure of what they're seeing in the first place. It's cold-blooded. See that? Now, when it comes to the next thing is the fact that understand this about the modality of the fire signs. This is the big one. You got to be careful, Pisces. Fire signs, you really have to be careful. See? Fire signs, the modality of fire burns through reality. Now, why you must be careful with fire signs, Pisces, is because they push too fast. You could say to yourself, damn, I just locked the front door. I just put a wooden fence around the whole yard. The whole perimeter is covered. But why is this person trying to barricade and trying to push through? I just put that fence up. It's already a hole in it already. That's fire signs. Fire signs don't give a damn about you putting up a new wooden fence around the whole yard. They will just burn through that shit, fam, very quickly. Don't even give you a chance to actually realize and enjoy it and say, oh, look at my new fence. Oh no, that fire sign already done broke it already. See? Because they will help themselves to it. They'll help themselves. Oh, they don't give a damn about you putting a boundary up. Okay, we'll just burn through it. We'll just burn through it, tear it up. See? So fire signs, you got to be very careful with. Now, air signs, you have to be careful. Because listen, what do air signs come to do? Air signs is up in the air. So why do you think air travels? Why do you think air is actually above of what you can feel? See, why is it above you? I'm going to tell you why. With air signs, they can confuse emotions, Pisces. It's cold-blooded. See, the air sign could, that's why a lot of air signs can be your enemy, Pisces, because they can confuse the way of which you feel things and confuse you and say, oh, that didn't happen. That's not right. See, if you believe them, they can really mess you up emotionally. See, because just because they don't feel where you coming from, you have to know where you from. See, and you got to stand on it because you can't be wavery like them. You got to be sure and say, yo, I ain't feeling this person, and keep that. See, stand on it, because if you don't, an air sign can make you question yourself based on how you feel about things. Earth signs are bad. Listen, can be bad for Pisces. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you are very fluid, Pisces. You like to go do things. You like to get out the house from time to time. Even though you might like to be alone, you like to still move around, be able to be free in your movement. Well, guess what? When you're dealing with control of earth signs, what you may be dealing with is restrict movement. See, restrictions with movement. So could you imagine when someone won't let you just go do your, routine of the day, your morning jog, and someone that's trying to restrict you to, oh, you can't do it at this particular time? That's earth signs. See, Taurus doesn't like to change, doesn't like, anything to be of a new schedule, routine, that, other than what they're used to. So you can only imagine that there's going to be restrictions with, oh, that Taurus having, a dissatisfaction of you going out doing something with the girls, or, hey, whatever it may be. He's going to always be trying to get you to check in with him before you do things. That's control, restriction of movement. So will Capricorn. See, you must be working. You must, hey, the Capricorn, if they feel like they're working harder than you, there's going to be restrictions. See that? Saturn, it comes to Capricorn, restrictions. Oh, you must climb the mountain in order to have success, or, hey, be able to obtain this type of crown or reward. Restrictions. Oh, because why? For Capricorn with Saturn influences, oh, you don't get this without sacrificing. See that? Giving these different sacrifices to where, oh, if you go without and you go cold, then you will get that reward quicker. See? So then that ends up what? Becoming a disciplined Capricorn. Problem is that they will require you to be like just like them. So that could be a problem, because that's going to what? Reinforce control over you. And that's going to allow you to what? Follow their lead. Whether that be no dating, or, hey, no doing this while we're actually, striving or working hard towards a goal. That could be a issue. Water signs, now, what you got to be careful with is the fact that they can overwhelm you. See, and that's done emotionally. Now, that's something you want to watch out. So when we talk about restrictions, that's more prone to what? Earth signs. When we talk about confusion, that's more related to air signs. And when we talk about being overwhelmed by other water signs, we're talking about the emotions. See, now, Well, another thing you got to watch out for and be careful with is that control replaces care. See, so that's another thing you got to watch out for. Another thing that you got to watch out for is the fact that silence replaces clarity. Okay, so when you are trying to have clarity in a situation, sometimes that's the thing. Silence replaces it. You're not there is no clarity where there's silence. Okay, because no one knows. That's what people are afraid of, the unknown, what's not being said, what you can't see. So that's why that's how you're able to tell that when there's a situation that is totally quiet. Why do you think that people feel so uncomfortable in that situation? Because they have no answers why this is happening, especially people that want to know everything, and they might oftentimes feel left out because of no clarity. That's why Gemini hates silence, because there's no clarity. They like to know everything. They need information out of everything. And if they feel that, oh, it's too quiet, or hey, then they're gonna dip. They ain't gonna like it. They ain't want to be in that situation at all. Now, another thing is intensity. Now, as I mentioned, that Scorpio triggers Pisces because of the intensity now of which it brings. Now, what does intensity bring? Deceit, manipulation. And see, a lot of times this stuff is related, manipulation, and these sort of tactics are related to what? Witchcraft. Now, because it's used to control you. That is the primary source of one may use to easily obtain control over you through that particular power. Intensity replaces honesty. See, this is why the snake complex, this is why Scorpio is depicted as the snake. See, because what are we saying here? You can't trust the movements of a snake. See that? Because a snake is very slick, very unpredictable, very deceptive, because it looks calm. You don't know what it's going to do. See? So you can't trust it. So anything that is intense, it has a manifestation of a snake. It's cold-blooded. When you say I can't trust something, that even if it's a human, it's the same goddamn thing, because the pattern, it repeats itself. The cycle, it keeps doing the same shit. If you say a person is a snake from someone that is shiesty, it's doing the same. They do the same thing. See, you have to know that when you see intensity, there's not going to be any honesty in that situation at all. See, now, Pisces, another thing that you got to be careful about is feeling trapped. See, feeling trapped. Because if you feel trapped, you cannot be helpful or useful. You can't be fully compassionate in a sense, because when you become trapped, that it's like a vexing. So it robs you of your inner peace. See, and you won't have the emotional safety that you desire. Now, another thing that Pisces gotta be careful about is feeling drained. See, as I mentioned, because if you feel drained, it ain't no different than a dead battery in a smartphone. See, you can't do anything. So you have to be on point at all times, because things will sneak up on you. So you have to be very, very, energized. Now, because otherwise, what would you do? You would just be asleep all day long, napping, napping, taking long naps because you're drained. See, and then that will make you what? Start to overgive emotionally, to where you'll start giving the sleep time a bonding, see, because you're drained, to where then you will start calling off to work. You start messing things up, see, because now you have bonded to that particular thing to feel better, see, to sleep. Now, the next one Pisces got to be careful with is withdrawals. See, withdrawals is like no different than stopping something that was addicted, addictive, an addiction for you, in other words. But you got to be careful with withdrawals, because sometimes it could give you those memories of, oh, what it was like versus how does it feel now. So you got to be, you can't get caught up in a spider's web just because, oh, you missed the whole, you missed that whole situation of how you used to feel. Another thing, Pisces, you got to be careful with is the triggers in itself. When one pushes your button, see, those emotional buttons. Now, why? It's because triggers, they turn into explosions. See? They turn into explosions because the unsettlingness of a situation catches you off guard. If you have, especially if you don't have a boundary there, especially if there's no boundary, then it would definitely lead to an explosion. See, once you're triggered, you don't know what you may do because you're caught off guard. See, the intensity of a Scorpio can catch you off guard in such a way where you literally just flip out, because if you have an openness within yourself, remember I said, if you have no boundary there, you're going to get hurt. Imagine if you, as a Piscean, you dissolved all boundaries just because you felt safe emotionally. You didn't lock the front door. You didn't lock the back door. You left all the windows open. Now what's going to happen? You're going to get hurt because you trust the outcome. See? You trust the outcome. You cannot assume that, oh, if I dissolve all boundaries, I'm still good. No, you're not. See, you leave yourself wide open. It's almost like a goalpost. Leave yourself wide open for an attack. See, and then all of a sudden you end up blaming yourself because you realize that, oh, I could have locked the front door. I could have done these things, but I didn't listen to my intuition. See, so because you was thinking about the outcome, what was going on outside of yourself, was thinking that, oh, it's nothing coming out. It's nothing coming from, for me, because you feel unseen. You think people are not watching you, and they are. You think you don't matter to people, and you do. You think, oh, these people don't like me, so they discard me. No, these people are still watching you like a hawk. And the next thing is the fact that relationships, they destabilize, okay? That's another thing you gotta be careful with. Just because someone says, I love you, doesn't mean anything. Oh, you're the only one, that doesn't mean anything. I'll never cheat on you, that doesn't mean anything. We got kids together, we married in Vegas, doesn't mean nothing, right? So relationships, they destabilize. You're not going to always look the way you look when you were, 16, 17. See? So you got to know that relationships don't always last. They don't always last. So you got to be careful, because you might think, oh, this person said to death do us part. That might not be the case. Now, another thing, too, is as a Pisces, you have to trust erode. You gotta, when it comes to erosion, you have to trust it. What is erosion? When something is just, oh, hey, no longer serves you, it's done. You gotta trust that. The problem with Pisces nowadays is the fact that once you realize that a situation no longer serves you, you gotta stop chasing it. See, you gotta stop looking at, oh, the possibilities of what it would be like if I could change this person. You can't. See, you cannot change their mind. So when something is already overdue, done, trust it. It's over with. Now, another thing too, like I mentioned, be careful with resentment, okay? Because it formulates. Now, another thing that Pisces must be careful about is the fact that you, Pisces, can detach. See? And you don't want to do this in an unhealthy way, because you could really hurt people by distancing yourself from a person or a situation without talking to them about why you want to detach in the first place. I understand you might feel like it's nobody's business and whatnot, but if you leave people in the dark and never tell them why you left them in the dark, that can really hurt people. See, because now they lose access. Remember, the worst thing a person would think is to say, wow, I had access to a really good friend, and just only to lose access without no closure, no warning, no life jacket, just to drown. See? And that's the thing, because you don't know how would that person make it back to shore. Once you leave a person out there to drown, no closure that, hey, I'm done with you. Could you imagine you being on a boat with a Pisces, and the Pisces just on that speedboat, just locked in, and he just driving like, and next thing you know, he's like, yo, bro, get out of my damn boat. You're like, wait a minute, what's going on? Why are you putting me out, bro? You gonna leave me here in the middle of the ocean? And he's like, yo, get out of my damn speedboat. And then a dude jumps in the freezing cold ass water. And then the Pisces driving the speedboat, he storms off and he takes off. The dude just sitting up there in the middle of the ocean, just left hanging, fam. Don't even know how he's gonna get back to shore. But that's the thing. Don't worry about his comeback. It ain't none of your business. You already left him. See? You already left him. Don't worry about what the shark's gonna do to him or how he gonna figure it out. Because you already left him. You've already effed him over already. So that's why I said you gotta be careful with that, because you really can abandon people, Pisces. Hey, take no prisoners. You could really leave somebody out there that probably, loves you, enjoys you. But like I say, you could detach Pisces better than the Aquarius. See? And that's why Aquarius, he or she takes that whole knowledge and it gives it to you, Pisces. It's like, yo, I don't know what to do with this, but hey, a Pisces is looking at Aquarius like, yo, I'm gonna detach too. Shit, I ain't finna deal with this. So that's the thing. You could literally just, you know what's crazy? You could be talking to a Pisces, and mid-sentence, they could literally detach from the conversation, but their shell is still with you. But their spirit, their soul, their personality is they already left already. See? So you could be talking to a Pisces, and the Pisces not even listening to you. Like, literally listening to you. It's like, they might be nodding their head like, okay, yeah. All right. And it's like they're not even paying you any mind. See? You got to really know if that Pisces really listening or not. Another thing, too, is Pisces got to be careful about is, like I said, other people will feel abandoned when you take the access away. Understand that drama escalates, or not escalate like a Cadillac, but, drama escalates, okay? So if something is already considered drama in your life, it will lead to a worse situation. That's why you want to get to, to the bottom of it. Also, Pisces must be careful for the simple fact that you could get blamed for a reaction, even when you don't give one. See? So That comes with the whole victimhood situation. Another thing, Pisces, what you want to be careful about is learning lessons late. See, you want to catch on early to those red flags and learn your lesson right away instead of trying to do it later. And another thing, Pisces, to be careful about is, like I say, growth. It comes through awareness. See, when you become fully aware, that means that you have basically went through the process of growth, because now you are not wired the same. Now you see actually the things in the that lurk and linger and how the outcomes are, because you already, you already learned the lesson. And you got the growth. Okay. Now, what a Pisces should do is definitely set boundaries early. I'm gonna keep saying that. Set them boundaries early. Lock them front doors. Lock the windows. See, that way you don't have to be stressed, worried about it, because, like I say, you will know. Oh, I set those boundaries, even though the other people might not see them. They're still there. Another thing too is watch consistency. Do not fall for the charm. Do not fall for people that are superficial. And like I say, you'll thank me later. Speak up before you snap. Before you snap in a situation, hold that thought. Do not snap, fam. Literally speak up first. See, and find out where everybody's coming from first before you snap. See, because you might snap and literally get blamed for get blamed for the reaction. And it's like people might actually confuse the fact that, hey, you just snapped on me, and even though they deserved it and they were the perpetrators. So sometimes you just have to speak up first before you snap. Get the information and everybody's side first, or if there's more than one person. Also, too, you want to protect your emotional bandwidths, okay? So you don't, give too much. And that alone is how you would get that emotional safety in the first place. Now, Pisces, what you shouldn't do, don't absorb everybody's feelings. I know it's contagious and you love it, but do not absorb everybody's feelings, because their feelings might offset yours, and it can literally put you in a depression. Another thing too, Pisces, never ignore your intuition. Never. Okay. And also don't over explain your emotions. You don't owe anybody shit. You don't owe nobody an explanation about, why you feel the way you felt, or why you got rid of a situation or a person. Don't over explain your emotions. And also, like, don't stay in the situation just to keep the peace. Don't try to put the other person's emotions or comfortability ahead of yours. Now, I'm gonna give y'all some another bonus content, okay? So, as you guys know, a Pisces will snap after being quiet for too long. Now, like I said, a Pisces just don't explode randomly, okay? It's all because of the absorption. The higher the absorption, that's when a Pisces will explode. See, like a volcano, because everything accumulated and it formulated into it. So that's how you know that it's almost as if a flip had, a flip of a switch. Okay, after that long silence or whatnot, definitely can push a Pisces to the edge where they won't no longer be quiet. And like I say, that shark will come out. And a lot of times when a Pisces is pushed to the edge, you basically snap, because you want to avoid the whole emotional burnout of the whole situation. Now, something to pay attention to is the silence. Now, silence doesn't mean it's not like, okay, when it comes to the silence, just know that it's not weakness, okay? It means that you're processing everything, Pisces. So if you're ever in a situation, you find that you went quiet, or hey, people are noticing that you're awfully quiet, that's because you're processing everything. See? Now, another thing too, with those triggers I mentioned earlier, is that you have to stack those quietly, okay? So what that means is the fact that when it comes to the triggers, what I meant to say is the triggers, they stack quietly. So when you're triggered, sometimes you may find that it'll happen again, happen again, okay? But that's because it, like I say, it's going to lead to an explosion. Now, another thing too is that even if you are disrespected in the slightest sense, that is enough to that's enough to ignite everything. See? So that's why I said if a person does something to you, they're gonna do it again 1,000 more times. So that's truth. Like I say, that's the truth. And I understand that other people have different opinion, but I'm just wanted to tell you guys this because some of you may think that a person would change and they're not going to, because they haven't been given a reason. Another thing too is how do you know someone is triggering you? What does it really mean? Like how would you feel around someone that has triggered you? Okay, now I want to break this down because some people might not even know what they feel when they are triggered. And that would be the very first thing I have is the repeated boundary crossing. See, remember I said you have to use intuition to know where to put the boundaries early at. So when a boundary that you know was there is constantly getting, like, the person is not respecting it, that's how you know that, okay, that's how you know you're being triggered at that very moment. The next one is emotional dismissal. See, where people are just not even trying to hear how you feel about whatever it may be or what happened. Another thing to know that you are triggered is when there's silent manipulation. Gaslighting of your intuition. Jealousy, projection. See, projection of jealousy is the thing of which a person will accuse you of doing the very thing that they're doing. See, that's how you know. And that's always comes out when what? Silence occurs, okay? Now, another thing too, that sometimes when it comes to being triggered, you may oftentimes try to control the whole, trying to cover up the control, okay? And when people try to cover it up, they try to disguise it as being, caring, okay? Now, another thing too that that may be considered a person being triggered is broken promises, okay? Somebody not keeping their word or following through on something that they said they were going to do. So that could really trigger you by someone breaking a promise that they, something they may have told you, Pisces, that they were going to do, and they never delivered or, carried it out. Now, another thing is the fact that, like I say, broken promises, public disrespect, withholding honesty, using the Pisces for their empathy, as I mentioned earlier, blame shifting, inconsistencies, emotional pressure, ignoring concerns, and subtle insults. All of these things point to a person that is triggering you, okay, by doing these things. Now, another thing, your energy will be drained behind it. So understand a Pisces will snap because, hey, they're emotional. They may snap because they've been patient for too long. See, if they've been actually caring about you, well, hey, it's time to care about themselves. Now, the next thing is when it comes to every sign of how they trigger Pisces by rushing emotions with Aries, and how to fix this is all you got to do is slow the communication down. Use a softer tone. When you actually ask someone nicely about something, or hey, you introduce yourself in a more respectful way, you actually get a better response. It's one thing, like let's say you were in a McDonald's line and you order some food and it like takes them forever. Let's say you order one of those 2 packs of cherry pies. All of a sudden, when you pull up to the window, they tell you, oh, you got to pull over to the third window because they're, we got to put some fresh ones in the oven or something, for example. Well, you have to know how to wait and how to talk to people in order to, let's say you've been waiting for 30 minutes and you want a drink, a free drink for waiting, because you're like, yo, I've been sitting here for 30 minutes. Well, it's all about your approach and how you say things. So if you say, I understand you guys are busy, or hey, no rush, but can I get a drink while I wait? Or hey, I've been waiting for 30 minutes. Can I get a free drink? So it's like if you do that, then like I say, people will more than likely reciprocate the energy. But you gotta ask nicely, because if you just, if you are the type of person that try to say it aggressively, you probably won't get it. Now, Aries, like I say, they trigger Pisces by rushing emotions, too fast, too soon. And like I say, how to fix it, just slow communication and use a softer tone. Now, Taurus triggers Pisces with what? Control and jealousy. Some of the most jealous people in this world are Taurus, fam. See? So you can't let that whole nonchalant, upbeat approach, you can't assume that, this Taurus is a cool, laid back guy or a cool, laid back woman. Because a lot of times it's what you can't see. The very thing when a person wants so much control is because they're jealous. See? Because they're jealous. That's why they want to have their foot on everybody's neck, because they're jealous. Now, how to fix that is you got to respect the freedom and avoid possession. See? Because what Taurus has to learn, and you don't own anyone. See? Now, Gemini triggers a Pisces with what? Mixed signals. So from one thing to the next, a Pisces can't trust Gemini, because a Gemini could be up to anything, doing all things at once, and not even tell the Pisces. So for it to work, a Gemini will have to be consistent, okay? And stop using word games, and, as confusion. Now, Cancer triggers Pisces through what? Through the emotional dependence. As I mentioned, being clingy, and how to fix this, just have emotional independence. They might actually have to be taught this, okay? Now, Leo triggers Pisces through their ego and attention needs, because when it comes to a Leo, they're very attention hungry. So they need all the lights on for them. And they love to talk about their, they're very proud about their accomplishments. So understand, when it comes to Leo triggering a Pisces, you're going to do it with the ego and the attention needs. So how to fix this is that you both got to have mutual validation. Now, Virgo triggers a Pisces with what? Criticism and trying to rewrite or change the narrative regarding reality. Now, how to fix it is you have to use compassion. Compassion must be used before correction. See? Before you judge someone, show compassion first. See? And then everything else will follow. Now, Libra triggers Pisces with what? Avoidance and image over what? Truths. Remember I said, if you catch a Libra man or woman off guard, where they had no time or chance to what? Use charm, then just know that if their scales get unbalanced, if they become unbalanced, they will do anything, and also twist the truth, lie to you, whatever it could be, just to avoid. See? just to avoid the whole situation. Now, when it comes to fixing the situation with Libra, is to use accountability. See, they might have to be taught accountability. Now, Scorpio triggers the Pisces with what? Silence and power plays. So there'll be a lot of ignoring, stonewalling when it comes to this. But if you guys can actually have that direct communication with one another, it actually could work, okay? You could fix it by doing so. Sagittarius triggers Pisces with what? Emotional dismissal, as I mentioned earlier. But you got to understand, to fix the situation between Pisces and Sag, they really have to take their feelings seriously. See, because Sagittarius they don't oftentimes like to take their emotions seriously. See, just explaining how their day went, they will be, cheer, just upbeat. They will be, when it comes to they will be just having a good old time to themselves, so they can just become emotionally, dismissal of anything, even if you having a bad day. So to fix this, you just got to take those feelings seriously. Sagittarius. Now, Capricorn could trigger a Pisces with emotional coldness, but in order for you guys to fix this together, you got to have emotional presence, okay? Now, as you know, if you connect with a person, let's say you meet friends or whatnot, they could also alleviate, the whole depression and the other thing as well that I mentioned. Now, when it comes to Aquarius, they could trigger a Pisces, like I said, with detachment. Now, what Aquarius needs is reassurance, in a sense, so that's to be the best way to fix it is through the emotional reassurance, okay? Now, Pisces and Pisces, like I mentioned, they could trigger each other by what? Just a whole mere fact of overgiving. And like I say, dealing with this particular sign being the same as yours, you have to use boundaries, okay? Now, I'm gonna you guys the other bonus content. And this was just a question because someone asked me, one of the subscribers, they asked me a question and they said, how Scorpio stings, okay? Like, is it similar to a scorpion? And I'm like, no, it's not. You have to really think outside the box here when we refer to Scorpio and its stinger. Now, I'm gonna tell you, why does Scorpio use the stinger in the first place? Okay, because I broke this shit down, and a Scorpio does this because the fear of loss, okay? And they have a strong fear of loss of control, see, betrayal and emotional exposure. So if they feel threatened at all by any of this, they will strike indirectly, see, not openly. So indirectly, that's how you know you have been stung. Now, different ways a Scorpio will sting you is through withholding information to keep the leverage. See, because it's what you can't see. And them wanting to do this and having a strong desire, that's another. Think of it being under the covers. You won't see that coming. So, but the whole time they want to what? Have their foot on your neck. Now, the next thing, how a Scorpio stings you is through the silent treatment. See, it's not about the silence, how a Pisces will give it, but the silent treatment is more narcissistic. See, so you could expect to be, silenced by the Scorpio. So when they do this to you, give you the silent treatment, that is to what? Punish you or regain power. See? Now, the next one is how Scorpio stings is through weaponizing secrets. So they will definitely have a different story. Every person doesn't have the same experience as one may have. And see, when it comes to weaponizing those secrets, you may have trusted them or overshared or gave them, even if you didn't overshare, you probably just told a person more than what they needed to know. welcome everybody that's still here as well. Like I say, this was a huge shout out to Misty. I appreciate you helping out as well with the with the moderator situation. Appreciate that. Everybody else that just came in, welcome. And yeah, so he said globally said trying to forget about the Taurus female. Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I used to be in love with this one Taurus woman, but man, she ended up cheating on me with one of my so-called friends, which was an Aquarius. So that was like, nah, man, that was cold-blooded right there. I said, nah, you done me dirty. I can't, nah, but yeah, they could be great girlfriends, so you're something to, pay attention to. But then at the same time, they could be prone to doing the little sneaky, shady stuff because of the jealousy. See, when they get jealous, they like to get even. See, kick up BS, and basically, it's like, why you don't even need to do all that. Now, another thing too, how a Scorpio stings is the fact that they may use emotional guilt. See, and they will use slogans such as "After all I've done for you," to manipulate you, to make you feel, basically low or unworthy. So these are different ways Scorpio stings. Now, another one that a Scorpio why they sting is the fact that they may use the subtle intimidation tactic, okay? And that could be their tone. They could be, extremely aggressive when they speak. And another thing too is that they may have that stare, that they may look at you in such a way, and just their presence altogether. Now, the next way of how Scorpio stings is through a loyalty test, okay? So they're not going to tell you when they're doing this. They'll just start testing your loyalty, just seeing if you're going to still be there, or that if you're going to chase them, or just stick around in general. So another thing that they may why Scorpio sting is through by playing the victim, okay? After they provoke the whole situation. See, because one of the main escapes for a Scorpio is accountability, and that's what they try so hard to avoid. Now, the next one is the fact that Scorpio stings when they try to rewrite motives, okay? So they might blame you and project onto you and say, oh, you made me do this. See, by not trying to take accountable just, for their actions. And another way how Scorpio stings is through cutting access suddenly. See, not really giving you the, a chance to defend yourself or speak for yourself. Another thing of how different ways of Scorpio stings is through character assassination. Okay, quietly trying to destroy you as a person. By the way, your personality or whatnot. Because Scorpio could definitely transform you, see, to where you won't be the same. You might learn a lesson, and hey, you actually have to, live differently or move differently than you used to. Now we're going to talk about the stinger in itself. Is not bad, okay? It's basically the fact that when it comes, or I'll say this, when it's more psychological, okay? It's not like, oh, this is going to really hurt. It's just when they do these different things, you can see the disloyalty. You can see the fact that they're not loyal as they come off to be. Now, another thing is the Pisces will feel everything immediately because the power, what does it turn into? It turns cold and heavy. Remember I said the emotions of a Scorpio are heavy. See, now, each sign has their different go-to, their superpower. As we know, Virgo, they use perfection. See, I'm going to tell you why. Why does Virgo use perfection? Because Virgo fears chaos. See, they fear being wrong. They fear being seen as what? Flawed. See, somebody that always wants to appear perfect in one's eyes, that's a God complex. So when it comes to those to control, remember I said restrictions. If you think about that, control, when it comes down to control, it comes what? Through logic and criticism and correction. So somebody that may always want to correct you could possibly be what? Using perfection. See, in Virgo. Now, ways a Virgo uses perfection when it comes to a particular, Pisces or different water signs, nitpicking. They nitpick the small mistakes to undermine your confidence. Remember I said they could actually find fixing if you're just confident. They can, if you believe them and you let them take the wheel and make the decisions for you, they can destroy you. See, as a person. Now, another thing too, how Virgo uses perfection is through moving goalposts. Now, what this means is that moving the goalpost keeps you from being right. See, so when you basically have the facts and you know your story, you know exactly what happened. Problem is that Virgo moves those goalposts out the way, so you're never right. See that? So you gotta be very careful, because this can also happen and coincide with their friends. They can also have people that just co-sign and dick ride to where it's almost like, oh, what you're saying is not true, or hey, it's not right. It's not how it happened. Now, another thing with Virgo, how they use perfection, is the fact that they like to rewrite events to sound logical. Sometimes they try so hard to be the smartest, person in the room. See, and they're not. And see, another thing is the fact that they can shame emotions. See, that don't make sense. And that's the thing. Like, they might get mad at you for feeling what you feel about a situation, and that ain't right either. So you gotta be careful with Virgo using perfection. They also can micromanage you. They might disguise it as, being efficient. So you gotta be careful with that. Another thing they could do is withhold approval. Drag their feet to things that you probably wanted to get done. Moral superiority. So they might say little slogans like, "Oh, I'll never do that. I will never do that to you." So they like to use the facts selectively, okay? And a lot of times they like to blame outcomes on your flaws. So they really are prone to your flaws and others, where they're quick to call them out. Now, just know that Virgo controls the narrative, okay? Now, not the room, see? So when they have information, a lot of times they might try to leave you out, especially from you hearing the narrative, because they will always change the story. Now, when it comes to, to benefit them. Now, the thing about it is Pisces gets blamed, okay? Because Virgo frames emotions as errors, see? Like you ain't supposed to feel what you feel or how you feel. But that's your emotion. Just because, Virgo, you're afraid to use your emotions doesn't mean that, oh, I shouldn't use mine. Now, with Libra, what is Libra's superpower? What is their defense? And I'm going to tell you what it is. It's tipping the scale. When does this happen? When the Libra feels unbalanced. See? And why? I'm going to tell you. Libra does this because they fear conflict. See? Rejection. And then looking bad in front of people. So this is why they use charm to, especially if they're unbalanced, because why? They want to preserve their image over the truth. So that means that some of your biggest liars are Libra. See? Now, I'm going to tell you, why does Libra tip the scale in the first place? Because they might say yes in a situation with no intentions on following through on it. It's cold-blooded. See? Another thing, too, is that a Libra can play both sides to avoid choosing a side. See? So if two people are arguing and into it, they might not, they might, shoot, they ain't gonna want to choose a side or whatnot. All while by, it's like all while by doing it. Okay. Now, another thing too is that when it comes to Libra, they could tip the scale by what? By ghosting accountability. See, when it's time to take account, they're nowhere to be found. You can't find them all of a sudden. Another thing too is soft gaslighting. See, another thing with soft gaslighting is the fact that they could also change the way on a dime of which and how they said something. See, they might have had intentions to hurt you, but they will try to soft gaslight you and say, oh, that's not what I meant. Oh, that's not what I meant. And see, the charm is used to what? Deflect responsibility. So that's what charm, it tries to what? Keep them safe from having to be responsible. So they damn sure gonna deflect it. Now, another thing is Libras, they may tip the scale to avoid hard conversations. They do not like hard conversations where a person is, just using big words or hey, they don't like it. Okay. Now, another thing too is the fact that Libra tips the scale to let other people take the fall. See, they don't want to be the one to, take the fall for the situation. They rather you do it. Okay. Another thing too, they could change the story depending on the audience or who's listening. They are not the same as they meet others as well. They could be, over promising of different things to try to keep the fairness, but may not follow through on it. Another thing too, a Libra would disappear when decisions are due. See, when a person must know what to do next, now the Libra's nowhere to be found. Now, when it comes to Gemini, their superpower is double talking. See, shape-shifting, different stories, or it could just be lies. So with Gemini, they fear being trapped, exposed, or bored. And see, when it comes to control, it comes through words. It comes through framing and flexibility. So you got to ask yourself, what are the different ways that a Gemini was, shape into a different situation or shape into reality? So they may say different things to different people. So that keeps you out of the loop. They may also use the humor to what? Deflect seriousness. See? So you never know what their true emotion is. They can also use plausible deniability. Okay, so that goes into a person basically forgetting what they did or said by saying, oh, I never said that, to get you to second guess yourself. The next thing when it comes to why a Gemini will, shapeshift or hey, shape reality is through over-explaining to confuse things or playing dumb strategically, reframing the whole, lies and misunderstanding, gaslighting with logic. So these are all things, that Gemini could possibly try to shape, okay, reality with. Now, Gemini doesn't lie with facts, okay? Just know Gemini does not lie with facts. They lie with framing. See? They lie with framing. So could you imagine you being in a car and hey, you get pulled over, God forbid, and there's something underneath your seat that you didn't put it there. All of a sudden it appears and the police can smell it and, hey, now they want to search the vehicle. But the problem is that Gemini, you were with one and they didn't want to get busted when they framed you, see, to make it look like it was you. Now, that's one thing that, so that's one thing how they would shape reality. Now, another thing a Gemini would do is play dumb strategically, see, because if they know nothing or they come off that way, then it's no expectations from them either. Now, another thing too that a Gemini would do to shape reality is talk in circles or try to use selective truths in a situation. So when it comes to this, you got to watch out for that. Now, also understand the gaslighting and logic, reframing the lies is misunderstanding, just the whole changing the whole tone of a, of the, just changing the whole tone of energy of a situation just to suit the room. So these are all things that, like I say, preserve the self-image. Now, just know with Gemini, they don't lie. They don't lie with facts, okay? They lie with framing. As I mentioned, Pisces senses inconsistency, though, instantly within Gemini. See, because they don't oftentimes follow through. Now, Pisces is most affected by what? All four, as I mentioned, because the intentions before words. Also, the whole absorbing of the emotional residue behind the situation. And then Pisces, oftentimes, they may trust with sincerity, or they might simply just avoid, confrontation. Now, that just make a Pisces, in a sense, become more vulnerable to a Scorpio silence, see? Or the whole fact that you could be blamed by a Virgo's logic, or you could be confused by Libra's avoidance, and that could spawn into that's just how the way a Gemini, that's their love language. Now, how should you handle each sign realistically, okay? When you handling Scorpio, you need to demand clarity over detachment, okay? Like, you got to get to the facts, the truths, not no lies, not no gossip, in that nature. Now, how do you handle realistically a Virgo? Well, you got to don't defend emotions, okay, with logic. That's the worst thing you could do. Now, when it comes to how should a Pisces handle a Libra, realistically, is to watch actions, not promises, because those are the things they would not keep their word on. Another thing is how a Pisces should handle a Gemini is what? Track consistency, not charm. And also, if you feel, like I say, confused, drained, or just blamed altogether, that's just your whole, hey, for you to move on from the situation. Because this is the thing, Pisces doesn't attract liars, okay? Pisces attracts what? People who think they can hide, fam. See? You can't hide like a Pisces can. See that? That's the thing. I'm going to tell you the easiest way to depict and look at this is the fact that think of a Pisces in a situation that, let's say y'all playing hide and seek, okay? And you guys know as a kid, you were the person that you guys do the Tigger saucer out and hit boom, okay? You realize that, okay, you're it, and you have to close your eyes and find us, right? Within whatever, couple of seconds, 30 seconds or so, or maybe 60. So when your friends or whatever, they leave and they go out there and hide, and it's time for you to go find them, it's almost like your intuition and all this, that where they are. See, this is the thing though, is the fact that you attract people who think they can hide. See, and that means that that's the unsettling part, because most people think that they're slick. See, but you always attract people who think they're slick, Pisces, because it's time to end their cycle, so it no longer repeats itself. Now, another thing I'll say, why these differences are painful, okay? It's because the whole human experience of survival, okay? And that survival strategy, what does it do? It basically invalidates another person's reality. See that? So just know that when it comes to these different things, people feel unseen, misunderstood, blamed, or destabilized. So that's how you know when it comes to one's, like I say, when it comes to validation to one's strategy of survival. Now, another thing is Scorpio, definitely, they can protect themselves from, secrecy, intensity, and control. Now, I'm going to tell you how do they hurt others through the silence, because it feels like punishment. Withholding feels like manipulation. When you don't tell your friends like certain things and you go talk to other people behind their backs, that's one of the things I'm referring to. So, like I say, it also, like the intensity, it feels invasive. Also for like I say, when it comes to Virgo, they may use the pain through correction, okay? So how this may look is they may hurt them, they can hurt others by the emotions. And they could treat them as flaws. Also with vulnerability, it gets what? Fixed instead of held, because that's what it should do. Now, just know criticism, it replaces compassion, as we mentioned. And like I say, it can make people feel inadequate, just constantly wrong about everything. And also, it could make a person feel unseen emotionally. Now, another thing with Libra's behavior, like I say, why it hurts others, okay? Because there's problems that are minimized, okay? Accountability disappears, and then the truth gets delayed or just softened altogether. So that makes people feel confused, guilt, gaslit, and unsupported. But that pain, like I say, it comes from never getting a resolution. Now, when it comes to Gemini, it's more related to the pain coming through instabilities. Why it hurts is because the stories constantly change. Also, like I said, the intentions feel unclear, and the conversations just don't match altogether. So people just feel mentally exhausted, unsure of what's real, or just unable to trust again. So that's something to keep in mind. Why would a Pisces hurt another Pisces? Well, Pisces feels the tone before the words, the intentions before actions, and like I say, shifts before explanations. Now, another thing is so in the whole closing aspect of the situation, the difference is, like I mentioned, they don't hurt because people are bad. That's not, I put the disclaimer out. It's not because people are bad, but people go around hurting others because, like I say, just unmet needs collide. See? So that has nothing to do with you, Pisces, and regarding that. But when it comes to the different ones that could hurt a Pisces, like I say, it's not because you're weak, okay? It's like I say, it's because that the fact that so a Pisces is hurt because, like I say, they're not hurt because they're weak, but because they are open. See that? When you are open and you're perceptive and internally oriented, that's when pain just tries to enter, the situation quietly. And then that's when remember I said the different forms, it formulates, and then it starts to accumulate. So that's the real reason why. So when it comes to the biggest wound of it all is emotional invalidation, because what does that do to others? What it does is dismiss feelings, rationalize over emotions, minimize concerns that people have. And see, when a Pisces internalizes hey, something is wrong, definitely, with how they feel. See, after it's all said and done. So that could cause a Pisces to self-doubt. Then they could put off the anger for later. See? So it's something to keep in mind with. Now, next, absorbing other people's emotions. And this is something big, okay? Because you Pisces would do this naturally. But Pisces just don't empathize. They absorb. That the empathy happens first. Then they start to absorb. So when somebody is jealous, resentful, anxious, defensive, Pisces is going to feel it as if it was their own. See? And it's going to lead to confusion, exhaustion, and emotional overload. See that? So that's why you got to separate everything. Now, always remember this. Silence hurts more than words. See? And I'm going to tell you why for a Pisces, because silence is not emotional abandonment, okay? But when a person withholds, it's not rejection either, see? And then avoidance is not the same as a loss of safety, okay? So just know that silence hurts more than words. Now, even if silence wasn't meant to punish a person, Pisces nervous system in itself reacts as if it was. See? So you could be blamed for other people's discomfort. Why people don't feel comfortable, you could be blamed for that, because people will always look at you, Pisces, as the container. See? That's why too much is given, you know, too much is what they say, too much is required or much is given. So you are always considered and looked at as the container. So that's why people will blame you first. See? Because some people, they care about the outside of the cup. They never care about how dirty the cup is inside. You got to clean the inside of the cup first. And then you follow through and clean the outside. So what sense would it make to focus only on the outside of the container? So with that being said, when you are blamed for other people's discomfort, because why? I mentioned us being a container. And it's for what? Group tension, for unresolved emotions, and also for what? Discomfort others that they don't want to face. You bring it out of them. So they may hurt you, Pisces, and then all of a sudden, a Pisces may ask, oh, you know, why am I carrying this? Because that's the thing, it may feel like it's your own, Pisces. That's why you got to be careful. Delayed boundaries, that can what? Amount to what? Delayed pain. See? Because you're going to hurt yourself. You don't set boundaries, you're going to hurt yourself. And like I say, that delayed pain, what does that feel like? That can make you know, unless, like I say, that could, think of it like this. A Pisces tends to what? Wait, hope, understand, or just give chances after chances. The pain comes later because why? Now the fact that, oh, you're stronger, then it's like, oh, you're stronger when the boundaries was needed, okay, earlier. So you got to be able to set boundaries. Now, another thing, let's talk about this reality versus the intuition conflict. A lot of people look at reality and they say, oh, you have to think logically, realistically, you know, speaking when you speak. Reality is an illusion. See, that's why it conflicts with your intuition. I'm going to tell you why. Because when your intuition says that something is off, that's when other people deny it, right? Then all of a sudden the Pisces starts to feel disoriented, gaslit, or just disconnected from self-trust. See? And that is the inner conflict, and it, like I say, is deeply painful there. So the whole realistic view of everything, it conflicts with the intuition. See? Because that's something that a lot of people misconstrue. And oftentimes a Pisces may feel used or discarded, okay? And that's because a Pisces gives time, money, you know, emotional labor, and just forgiveness. Now, when that's taken for granted or erased, then what? It creates grief, shame, or anger toward, you know, the anger turned inwardly instead of outwardly. Now, if jealousy is projected and aimed towards a Pisces, it definitely will feel like a personal attack. And it's because of the projection, okay? When you project jealousy, that's what it does. That's the outcome. But Pisces doesn't see a competition. Pisces feels what? They feel the hostility without the context, okay? So that's the thing you got to know between the two of them. And see, you may find oftentimes that the most jealous person of you is very hostile. See, has no self-control. So that's something that, you know, that's something to think about. And we're gonna start off with part 2 tomorrow, you guys, because I know I've been going in. So yeah, smash the like button if you like the video. I love y'all, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow in the next video. Peace out. Thanks for watching.